ride to FORTSTOCK? Join us in the mobile service van with Jim Sabino from All American Ford in New Jersey.
Good morning and welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. We are starting our day with the other name in mobile service, not the one in Florida, but Jim Sabino, who is the Fixed Operations Director at All American Ford. They're located in Paramus and Hackensack, New Jersey. They're a part of the All American Auto Group. Great friend of the Roundtable, Jim Sabino. Welcome back to the event.
Thanks, Ted. Good morning, and thanks for having me. It's a real pleasure to be part of this Fixed Ops Roundtable.
I really enjoyed the mobile panel you were on yesterday. I thought we got a lot of great information from your peers, Mark Mickens and that other gentleman, Ed Roberts. And Jim, it seems so much is happening in this space right now.
Yes, there is. And, again, kudos to those guys. They're Ed Roberts is really raising the bar every day. And I look, I watch and I look to see what he does. And it's an incredible team that he has down there. What it takes behind the scenes to build out this mobile service network is incredible. It's the capital investment for the vehicles, and then it's building the team within the dealership to support it. You need your mobile technicians, you need your mobile service coordinators to set up the appointments, pulling the parts to load the trucks up. So there is a lot of behind the scenes to make this a very successful venture. Mobile service is here to stay. I highly am behind it here with the dealership as part of our team here. We're not as big as Ed Roberts, but we are trying. We have 6 on the road every day, 2 inbound units. And in 2024, we have, a plan to increase our presence in the mobile service fleet and retail customers alike. Mark Mickens, again, the other panel member yesterday, was like the architect here. He's a friend. I've known him about 30 years now. He was the architect for high-end import, Mercedes-Benz. He catapulted the dealership he was at tremendously. And Mark was a guy that just, he made it work. He built trucks. He took a used Sprinter and turned it into a tire truck. He got a tire machine, a wheel balancer, a compressor, and he built his own truck. He didn't wait for an upfitter. He didn't have the time. He saw the need, the urgent need. And he just ran with it. So he was running with 4 or 5 trucks that I know of, and I don't know how many were in the making. And that's all because of him. He really he blueprinted and architect behind the scenes and put those things to work. So very, very successful, very smart guy, as is Ed Roberts, with his team down there in Florida.
So our audience knows Mark and they know Ed very well. And let's find out a little bit more about Jim Sabino, because you're here in my neck of the woods. You're in New Jersey and North Jersey. Jim, tell us about you. What's your background and how did we get here today?
So my background is a pretty simple thing, Ed. I've been in the car business my entire career. It's all I know. It's my passion. It's my love. I've been doing this this is my 38th year. Shocking, but it is. And I started at the bottom and I worked my way up. It's a very humble journey. And I knew what I had to do. My father was in the business. He was on the sales side of it. He was sales manager, general manager back in the 70s. He started in the late 60s through the 70s and the 80s. He was with Oldsmobile for many, many, many years. And then when Oldsmobile went down, he converted over to Chevrolet and finished his career off at Chevrolet. So he was always in sales. And as a young guy, I really didn't want to work every Saturday. Sales guys, they worked this Saturday. They had the day off during the week. So I ventured into service, and I worked at my first job ever was at the Oldsmobile dealership where my dad was. And I worked in the shop with the guys, and I just loved it. Fell in love with the whole concept. It was just great. I always worked on cars. And one day,
Oldsmobile was the big name back then.
Oldsmobile was a great product. It really was.
If you worked at an Oldsmobile dealer, I mean, you had it made. Can I ask you which dealership was that?
It was Fisher Oldsmobile in Bergenfield.
Yeah,
and there was a couple around. There was Feldner, which was the big one, and Feldner was the Cadillac. I'm sorry. There was Roberts Oldsmobile and Ratner Oldsmobile. Ratner Oldsmobile was in Hackensack. So it was a great product, really cool stuff. And they had some luxury cars, and then they had the muscle car with the 442, which was really, really exciting. But again, great product. But that was my beginning. That was my entry into the car business, the automotive industry. And then one day, I never forget, the service manager came to me and he said, "Hey, I got this guy retiring, one of the service advisors, and Would you like a shot at it? I like the way you talk to people. You got a great personality. And I never thought of it. And I said, you know what? Let's try it. And then from there, the rest was history. I learned how to, communicate with customers and treat them right. And my dad was very good. He had an incredibly loyal following of people that would buy cars. Their whole family would buy cars, their neighbors, their coworkers, everybody would come and see my dad. He took care of everybody. So I learned that from him. Taking care of the customers, I knew how to do it. I knew what to do. And, I got into the I guess, management in a later down the road. And what I did is, over the years, I had a couple of jobs, and all the service managers that I worked for, I knew what I had to do to increase my value, to go up the ladder, take care of customers, treat your employees fairly, treat them well, pay them right, and make it a place that you'd want to come to work. So how I did it is the things that I didn't like that service managers, I took notes of that instead of the things that I knew that they were doing right, because I knew already what I needed to do, what I had to do. So I took notes on the things that I didn't like. And every service manager that I worked for throughout my career in the beginning days, I made notes of the things that kind of bothered me or I didn't think that were right. And that's what I made sure that I never did in my years of working. Every job that I left on great terms, but I left for a promotion or a better opportunity because I wanted to keep going. I just wanted to climb to the top of the mountain. That's what I wanted to do. And, I landed here at All American Ford 23 years ago. And these guys, the owners here are awesome. They're hustlers. They're fierce competitors. They want to win. And it's been a really great journey. They treat me like gold, like family. It's a great place. We've grown tremendously since I've joined them 23 years ago. It was one dealership when I started. There are 4 dealerships now, but we've sold 2 off already. So we were at 6. We were in the collision center collision business 12 or 13 years now, maybe 14, which was a great opportunity because one of the previous jobs I had, I was involved with the collision center. So it's really, really good. I've had a lot of people cross my path. I treat people well, customers, employees. I love what I do. And I never stop learning. I never say I have all the answers. I've learned the best thing to do is surround yourself with a great team. Not one person can ever succeed at these types of jobs at this level. So you need to surround yourself with really, really good people, smart, talented, hardworking people. It's a grind. You have to work hard. People tell me work smarter, not harder. I agree with that, but I try and work smarter and harder together. Nothing's a given. You have to earn it. You got to hustle. You got to grind. You got to work. I put the time in. I put the hours in. I support my people. I have their back. It's what it is. I love what I do. And that makes it that much easier to succeed in your role, to love what you do.
So tell us about the operation. I know you're in Paramus. Full disclosure, the other dealership, you oversee the one in Hackensack. I worked for that dealership in Hackensack when it was Hackensack Ford Mazda.
Yes, you did.
Before
many years ago.
Before the current owner. So give us the lay of the land, Jim. Approximately how many employees, technicians, what do you do there at All American today?
So again, yes. So we have 4 dealerships, and we have one in Hackensack, one in Paramus that you just referred to. Those are the ones that I primarily work with on a day-to-day basis. We have 2 large dealerships down in Central Jersey, South Jersey, Point Pleasant and Old Bridge, which they have a partner down there, and they have 3 sons that play the role of general manager, service manager, sales manager. They're great. The partner down there is an awesome guy, very, very smart, knows the business well, came up from the back, from fixed operations, made it to general manager and then to dealer before he became a partner with the current guys that are owning this dealership now, the brothers. And we hustle. We're here every day. We have approximately, the Hackensack and Paramus location has, there are 52 technicians between both stores. Mm-hmm. So it's a decent amount. Mm-hmm. And we have a collision center that is in Hackensack also, that we run 13 employees there. It's a big operation as far as the collision center goes. And we have an offsite truck service department in our Hackensack location that we carry a lot of our, all of our diesel technicians and truck and fleet operation is run out of that building. So all the municipalities, ambulances, Amazon, all those types of water companies, utility companies, that's the kind of vehicles that we service there. Along as we're doing our mobile service, we're doing a lot of fleet business in our mobile service operation also, as long as our retail is also met. Our customers are just reacting amazingly welcome this mobile service convenience that we now offer with our trucks on the road every single day. It's a great added convenience. And it's a lift in our CSI score. Our CSI scores, our engagement from our customers now have gone up as far as, wow, that's great. I can't believe you're going to come to my house. You come to my place of business. And it really has helped CSI engagement, customer loyalty, brand loyalty, everything in that you can imagine. We've gotten a lift from mobile service.
I want to ask you, Jim Sabino, a little bit more about your mobile service operation. Before I do, I want to show a short clip from a few weeks back. Ed Roberts appeared on the After Dark show, and you'll recognize Tony Owens on there as well. He had a big announcement, and I want to play that, and I want to get your feedback on that, and then talk to you more about the future of mobile. So if it's okay,
absolutely,
I'll show the clip now. Well, Bozard Ford Lincoln, of which you're the COO, is not just any dealership. It is one of the most amazing, if not the most, in the country. And if you haven't been there to see it yet, I highly recommend it in St. Augustine, Florida. You got that beautiful Ford's Garage restaurant on the property, Ed, that is busy morning, afternoon, and night. And it's really made it a destination for where you're located there. And you do tremendous volume. You've got the biggest shop, the cleanest shop on the East Coast as well. And you said you're going to expand. Now, I think you had 10 mobile units when I was there a few months ago in May. So you're telling us maybe 20.
I am working with some folks at Ford right now to add, get ready for this, 36 more.
Wow.
Oh, Lordy. Sensational. Sensational.
So the we like Ted said, we have a very big shop. We have 96 technicians now, have 98 service bays, have 10 mobile trucks. But reality is our customers do not like coming to car dealers. They don't like coming here for service. They don't like coming here for sales. They do it because it's a necessity. And I want to make ourselves available to our customers where they want to be made accessible to, whether it's sales, service. And right now with the 10 that I have, 3 days a week, they only go see fleet customers. It only leaves me with 2 days a week to go see our retail customers. And that's not enough. We need to make sure that we can see those guys. And there's other plans that's going to come with that. But you got to have a plan to be able to work it. So we are working it.
Wow. I got to tell you, 36 additional is incredible, you know, but listen, if there's one guy to do that, Ed Roberts is the man. He's kind of raised the bar. He's set the pace for Ford dealers, Ford and Lincoln dealers, because he's a dual down there, for mobile service. I mean, the existing 10 is incredible to manage in itself. But again, like I said before, you have to build a business within a business, right? You need the infrastructure of the internal makings. And I think he's mentioned it before. He has a Crystal, I believe her name is. I apologize if it's not correct, but that kind of coordinates that. She's the mobile service manager. And then under her lies the mobile service coordinators who make the appointments, schedule the trucks, make sure that they're at, you know, the destination, the addresses at the certain times to meet the needs of the customers, whether it's a fleet or a retail customer. And then they move on to the next, to the next, to the next. So incredible news from Bozard. 36 additional trucks over the next year. I guess they'll roll them out.
And Jim, this has got to speak volumes as to the future of mobile service. What do you say?
It does. There's no question about it. It's saying, he's sending a message saying that mobile service is definitely here for the better. It's for the better of the customer. It's for the better of the dealership providing that service. So Ford Motor Company, you know, is behind this huge. And I've mentioned that before to you in past, that they are so supportive to the dealership the network that buys into, mobile service. It's not for everybody. Not every dealer is going to step on and get, hey, this is great. Send me trucks. I'm going to, do this. You have to want to do it. You don't need to do it, but you have to want to do it. And if you want to do it, that means you really care about your customers and you care about expanding your business. That's what it comes down to. So Ford expects us to do a certain percentage every month of mobile service and pickup and delivery. They're called remote experiences is what they are. Okay. And, with that, it's Ford asking the dealership to meet this percentage, but it's up to the dealership to make sure that mobile experience or the pickup and delivery experience is a great one. Ford can't control that. Only I or the dealers that are involved in this can control having a great experience. That means the appointment process is smooth and seamless. The truck shows up on time. The technician in the mobile truck is courteous and does a great job and doesn't leave a mess behind. And, leaves a business card, say, here's my contact info. Call the dealership and request me if you liked me, and I'll come back to your house and do the next service for you. Things like that. That's what we have to take over and make sure that mobile experience was a great one. That will become a repetitive business. People will say, where have I been all my life? This is the new normal now. I don't want to go to the dealership. It's like going to the dentist. I don't want to go to the dentist because so if you can come to me, I'm all in. And 70% of all recalls that Ford has can be performed on that mobile truck. So that's a pretty good ratio, right? 7 out of 10 times I can do it in your driveway versus coming into the dealership. And for those other 30% that can't, I will pick up and deliver your car. So to really, the word convenience is in bright lights with this whole mobile service, remote experience. It really is. And it is the future. The dealers, I highly recommend dealers to buy into this. Again, it's not for everybody. You have to have the people that you have to hire a complete team to run this. If you want to be successful and grow it, you can't just do it with your existing employees. You can't. And as Ed knows down there, he probably has a whole team. I don't even know how many people. But to 10 trucks now, I'm going to tell you an estimate based on my experience, what we have. He probably has at least 3 to 4 people dedicated to mobile service at a minimum to run those 10 trucks right now. Plus every truck. And I don't know if he's running one technician or two technicians. He is running two per truck. So, wow. So he has 20 technicians running the 10 trucks now. And then, so there's going to be a whole bunch of new hires over the next year to man those 36 vehicles. And it is, we're seeing business that we've never had. We're seeing new customers, come into us because of the mobile service experience, which is a cool thing, because once you get them into your system, then it's possible that we're going to have a chance to sell them a new car or lease them a new car when that time comes. So it's a whole big life cycle that there's a lot of upside to it. And again, congratulations to Ed and his entire team for that huge announcement. I'm sure I'll hear something probably in the next couple of days from Ford about this announcement, because I have a lot of good connections, a lot of good people on the Mobile Pro, which is the division that supports commercial and fleet, and their Mobile Pro is very behind this mobile service initiative because it only helps the Ford commercial vehicle owner, the end user, the construction, the utility company, that type of thing. So great news. Amazing news.
We're speaking this morning to Jim Sabino. He's the Fixed Operations Director at All American Ford, part of the All American Auto Group, coming to us today from New Jersey. Jim, I spent some time with you recently, and we talked about bringing new people into the industry and how important that is. I know you're working on a lot of initiatives, to bring new people into the industry. Ed's certainly going to have to bring some new people in, to help with that mobile operation. I have a feeling Jim Sabino is going to have to bring some more people in, as attrition happens and so on.
Correct.
Jim, if you're talking to somebody who's thinking about a career and you want to encourage them, and if you only had let's say a minute to do that, what would you tell them as far as entering automotive right now at this exciting time in our industry?
Great question, Ed. Ted, my response is get in now. It is an awesome time in the automotive industry. A lot of people are retiring. A lot of our technicians, our senior technicians are retiring, service advisors retiring. Mobile service is new. It's a new initiative for us. So we need good quality people, talented people, hardworking people that want to learn and learn about this exciting new part of what the dealerships are now offering. The pay scale is better than ever. I could tell you that. And I'm sure a lot of people will agree with me on that. The pay over the last year and a half has skyrocketed. And you know what? That's a great thing. I compliment it. I applaud it. And the sky's the limit. If you get into this business, you learn as much as you can. Never stop learning. Work hard. Do a good job. And you know the future is endless. What you can create. Hustle, grind, and make it happen. And just do the right thing. And you'll have a great future in this business. And earn a lot of money. The potential for earning is better than it's ever been right now. It really is. Spot on.
Jim Sabino, final question for this morning. Here we are, middle of September, coming into the last quarter of the year. You got a lot of peers watching. You have a lot of other Ford, Lincoln dealers watching, fixed ops directors, service managers, and you got people, of course, with other OEMs watching as well.
Sure.
What advice would you have for your peers in retail as we go into the last quarter, last part of this year, and looking out into the beginning of next year? If you had to give them any advice at all, what would you say at this point?
Listen to your employees. Okay. Listen before you speak. Don't let good employees slip away. That's our foundation. It's my foundation. I'm not successful unless I have a great team and a great team that works together, that works well, that produces results. Take care of your customers. Listen to your customers. Your customers are ultimately the people that are bring the money into the dealership, whether it's a cash paid repair or a warranty paid repair. That transaction doesn't happen until that car or truck crosses your service drive. Or in our case now, our mobile truck has the ability to go out to them, so they don't have to cross the service drive anymore. But take care and listen to your customers. Their voice is so important. Make sure you do the right thing. Your people are your foundation. Without a good team in place, smart, hardworking people that are willing to learn, that want to learn, take care of them, pay them well, listen to their needs, and keep going. You know, overcome your obstacles and whatever is preventing you from moving forward. Move them out of the way. If the things can't move, you got to come up with plan B. You know, the logistics and supply chain with parts and things like that. That's a constant thing, but you have to work around it. You have to be resourceful. You have to always think outside of the box, and just keep grinding. 2024 is, right on our doorstep. We have a lot of plans here, All American Ford, that, will come out in time. I'm a very humble guy. I don't walk around pounding my chest and saying, I did this. And you know what? The team does it together. We do it together. We celebrate our wins, and we work hard for them. Nothing's handed out. It's a tough business, but it's a very gratifying business. It's a very, it's a people person business. You got to go with the good and the bad. Not every day is a great day, and you have to make the best out of every day. Put your foot forward every morning. Say, I'm going to do this. Let's see what we can do. And the best is yet to come, Ted. 2024, we will be expanding our mobile service presence for sure. Not at the tune of 36 units, Ed, but we are definitely going to be supporting
you never know,
more mobile service trucks, more pickup and deliveries. And, we're here to stay, and we want to, do the best that we can for our customers and grow the business to endless heights.
We're going to come back and check in on you, Jim. Jim Sabino, everybody, one of the greats in our business. He's the fixed ops director at All American Ford, part of the All American Automotive Group. Jim, on behalf of the Fixed Ops Roundtable, thanks for all that you do for our great automotive industry.
Thanks, Ted. Appreciate it. It was a great time here. Good luck with the show.
Jim Sabino, everybody, here today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
These are the best moments. When stress fades away and life can be enjoyed to its fullest. And helping people connect to these moments, that's what you do. Every day. Helping them find the car that's just right for them, with an easy flow from website to showroom to financing. Ensuring that their car runs safely. By sending reminders to show you're thinking of them and scheduling service that fits their busy lives. You're even helping keep their personal data protected. So times like these are worry-free. And we're here, behind you, every step of the way, through relationships built on years of listening and understanding. We bring the needed strength, knowledge, and experience to give you, our customers and partners, real peace of mind. Through our technology, we unify dealers, manufacturers, and software developers, sharing expertise and boosting collaboration for everyone's benefit. And by envisioning a future of innovative solutions, open platforms, and shared outcomes, we can shape our industry for years to come with the experiences consumers want. We don't take this unique opportunity for granted. The chance to do something truly special, to work at the heart of this industry, connecting it at every level, and taking it to new heights. We make the connections that move you. So together, we can create more moments like these.
Please welcome John Fairchild of Fairchild Automotive Solutions with Shon Kingrey at the Kaiser Automotive Group.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I am Ted Ings with Shon Kingrey and joined today by John Fairchild, and I am very humbled because I have two NADA speakers. Gentlemen, congratulations.
Thanks a lot, Tate. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's going to be exciting.
Now, John, you have spoken before at SDA. It'll be in Vegas for 2024.
Yeah.
And Shon Kingrey, somebody who doesn't necessarily like a whole lot of public speaking, has now become a public speaker.
It's definitely not my comfort zone. And the good news is, John and I are going to join that. We're going to be on the stage together.
Yeah, we are.
We're going to share the stage.
Yeah, and actually the content is going to be pretty good too. It's going to be the successful day in the life of a modern service manager. Okay, and so we're going to lay it out for you. What are the very most important things you got to do every day to be successful in this business in the modern day? Right, Shawn?
You're correct. And and since the world's changed, and since it's not like it used to be 10 years ago, it's not the same. There's always change. It's definitely changed now. And if you're not doing certain KPIs, certain things every day, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, critical action item. You have to.
And it's daily. You can't miss.
I in the old days, I would refer to that as a checklist, but it really is important to have these actionable items. Managers, talk to us about that.
Well, I'm going to talk through the ins and outs of each one of them because there's a right way and a wrong way in just about everything you can do, right? And so what are those critical action items? And then dissect each one. Go down into the life of it. We've been live in the drive. This is real world stuff, and it's really going to be fun. We're going to have a packed house of 300 people. How do you feel about that, Shawn?
I can't. No, we'll be all right. This is my passion. This is what I enjoy, and this is what I love. So that's the good news. I get to talk about that. Sometimes I talk too fast.
True.
John's been known to hold the notes, slow down. And that's okay. But I'm the one looking forward to it. And again, I think it's very important for your management staff to know, and for the team to know what's required every day to make the boat full. Quite frankly.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's all about having what we refer to as a cadence of accountability, Ted. And that's how we execute. Because as we always say, no widget, no kiosk, no software, no word tracks, no nothing works unless we work it. So it's all about execution, guys. And from execution, then we can have a successful day and successful month. Because we all know at the end of the month, If we have good results, we are a hero, right? But what happens the first day of the next month?
You're a zero, baby.
You're back to zero.
Back to zero.
So that's what that's kind of a great thing about the car business is that we can set goals based on each month and work towards those goals every day and execute. And Shawn is a big proponent of sharing metrics and KPIs, as he mentioned, and we got to know where we're at. We have to have a usable scoreboard. Okay, and
Like that.
And a scoreboard can't be something that's paralysis by analysis. It's got to be something that's compelling that I can look at and within, instantly know, am I winning or is there some opportunity for improvement?
Right. It's funny, John, you hit on something there, and they ask you at NADA whenever you get picked for this of who you hope your audience is going to be. And I'm open to anything, obviously, but I really hope that there's dealer principals and general managers that are there that have to understand if you're not sharing your numbers with your team, you're going to fail. If they don't know what they're doing well or not doing well, they're going to continue to do the same things and they're going to continue to fail. And, it's amazing after 29 years of doing this now, it's amazing how many dealer principals and general managers will say, well, I don't share numbers with my team.
Yeah, I did. I kind of hear that refrain sometimes too, but it's not only sharing the numbers, but can we make those numbers actionable? So there's a lot of numbers out there, right? And we have lag metrics and we have lead metrics. Lead metrics lead up to the end result. So if we're not really coaching people in the drive and as technicians, then we're not going to get those results. And even though we may know the numbers, is it relevant or what does that number mean? So you got to have a goal. You got to have a KPI to shoot for.
Correct.
So let's talk a little bit about how you do this, John. We're here today. We're in Madison, Wisconsin. You're at the Kaiser Automotive Group.
Yeah.
Doing training this week. You guys are 8 different various dealerships on the drive. That's only part of the story, though. Talk to us about what John Fairchild does, because there's a whole, while this is a super necessary component, there's a lot more to what you do.
Oh, certainly. I've really got a capabilities deck that has a few different things that I do for dealers in general. Number one is consulting. Consulting is knowing what to do, right? It's been in so many situations that you can tell what works and what doesn't work. It's analysis, it's process development, and again, it's knowing what to do. And then teaching is a framework of training, right? And often you hear this refrain in the service drive, don't tell me you've never said this. Nobody trained me, right? Because I've said it before in my career, but let's be honest with ourselves in that if we know how to do something, we train ourselves through our own habits.
Yes.
Right? And, especially of late in the last few years, we've put people in situations where they may be not the right person for that job, right? Because we didn't have anybody else to put in there.
Right.
Or we've made experienced people short-staffed, and so they're habituated to take a shortcut. And the challenge here with any new engagement that I go into is that we've got people that are habituated to do it at the same thing they've always done. And guess what kind of results you get from that? Mm-hmm. You get the same results.
Correct.
Right? And so there comes a point where the challenge has to be, can I break out of those old habits and adopt these new ones? And if you're right-handed or left-handed, try this for me tomorrow morning, is if you're right-handed, try to brush your teeth with your left hand. It's awkward, guys. And so I'm asking people to step out of their comfort zone, and that's what training is. But in essence, you train yourself through your habits, okay? The third prong is coaching. And coaching is really where it makes it could come to life and is where we can have a rhythm of accountability and where we can get execution for it. And so my aim is to coach the coach. I can't be here all the time.
Right.
I'm gonna have remote segments here. We've got some video role play training. We've got a dashboard. We've got a scoreboard there. But I'm not in these stores every day, and I've got to have somebody that's an extension that is the coach here, that we can all hold ourselves accountable and just raise ourselves incrementally.
If I can, one of the nice things that I really like that you do, that you added, I would say maybe in the last 12 to 18 months, is if I have a new manager or a new service advisor, a new person here, if I wanted to get John Fairchild to come to my store, obvious because you're very busy, you can't come this week or next week. We have to check you, but you also are a big part of this Pinnacle Training Center where I can send my manager to a management class that you personally are holding or a service advisor class Tell us, audience, about that, because I think that's a very nice thing that you've got going there.
Yeah, I've got a mentor in Jonathan Dawson, and he's developed the Pinnacle Training Center, and we've been talking about it for years and years. And he's given me a platform to be able to hold service advisor and service manager workshops. And the advantage of that for the dealership is many. So number one, it gets the person out of the environment, okay, but also it gets them into an environment with their peers. And so you've got various levels of experience in there, and everybody's got a nugget that they can share. And these workshops are extremely interactive. Have you ever been to a workshop where you felt like you were going to nod off?
Right.
You're not going to nod off in my workshop, because I ask more questions than I dictate.
Yeah.
So I want to get the answers and make sure we got comprehension from the people. And, you know, we talk about role play a lot, and role play is a big part of it, because if I can execute it in a role play scenario, now I'm not practicing on my live customers. I'm practicing to where I can get it down to it's almost like a subliminal thing I can do in my sleep. And that's where you get the progress.
And Shawn, I know you've sent a lot of your people, both now and in the past, to John's workshops. Tell us about that. You know, sending them to Atlanta. I know it's convenient, but you know, what's the experience like when they come back to the store?
So actually, I'd gone through the class. I've helped John teach one of the classes.
He did. I had him as a guest speaker.
I was a guest speaker.
How did he go?
He did great. You know, he did.
There was a slow down thing. That's where it came from.
He did an awesome piece, y'all, and we'll have him back on the financial competence in your service drive. So what are the very essential numbers, and how do we manipulate them to our advantage? That was awesome.
So back to your question, Ted,
Yeah.
again, to where we talked about the first segment. No, is the financial statement. It's amazing in John's class that it was a packed house, and we'll get to how the class went and why I like the classroom environment. But it's amazing how many service managers and parts managers in that class, Ted, didn't even know, had never seen a financial statement, don't know how to read it. They don't even know what page to go to, for that matter.
Sure.
Or one of the requirements is, quite frankly, John asks you to bring a copy of your financial statement. Well, my general manager wouldn't let me have one. What do you teach? I don't mean to be rude, but why are you there? And that's very negative, and I don't mean it to be. You can still learn from the class, the interactive and the walkarounds and stuff. But how do you fix a number if you don't know what creates that number? And it's a fact. It is what it is. But again, to John's point, as far as getting the people out, listen, we all have to take manufacturer tests. We know that. Or we have one person in the dealership that takes it for everybody. You're not learning sitting in front of a computer. John's is out of the environment. You're removed from your, the day-to-day. The phone's not ringing. They're not pulling and tugging on your shirt string. You got to come help. You got to come help. It's a completely different. It's out of the way. He takes you to dinner that night, and by then everybody is one. It's kind of cool. So that way, when day two comes around, and I'm not letting the cat out of the bag, you do the video role play.
Yeah,
it's just natural.
Yeah. So I ease them into it, because I've had some resistance in the past, and I understand that. But I appreciate that, Shawn. Yeah. There are other elements that I really help dealers with. So we talked about consulting, coaching, and training. But, in most states, there's a tremendous opportunity for you as a dealer to fix your pricing strategies. And that includes warranty uplift and retail prices. So, if your warranty is off by $20 or $30 from your customer pay rate, then you really need to examine why that is. And I help dealers do that, and often I find a windfall of cash that's just waiting to hit that bottom line right there on line 20 on the financial statement, baby.
Yep. I think there's a lot of folks out there, myself included, in the recent past, who don't know and didn't know that you do this type of thing, John.
Yes.
Do you do that only for your clients, or do you do that for companies that want to get involved with you?
I do it both ways, actually, and I do a free assessment. And the way that we operate, I've got a full-time auditor. I've got people that pull the repair orders for us, and we don't get paid until our dealers get their uplift. So we put in all the work ahead of time, and when they get that big bump in their rate, then they're happy to stroke us a small check. But we don't charge like your big firms do. Typically, it's 10%. Okay, I was recently involved with a store that would equate to $120,000 in commissions for that warranty company. So yeah, I charge a flat fee, and it's reasonable, and I help people get that lift and hopefully engagements in other ways with them.
What's unique is that what you do, you have a relationship with the store, so you understand the nuances, and now you're helping them with things like this.
So that's a very big differentiator I see throughout the market.
Yeah, and you talked about, doing it with my existing clients. I do have a lot of existing clients that I do warranty uplift with, and that's how I learned to do it. And I've been doing it for about 12 years, and I've had more than 75 successful submissions.
Wow, love it.
Yeah.
All right, so you've got the off-site training, which Shawn, you and I have talked about is so important to get people out of the dealership environment. I know Tully has talked to us about that as well.
Yeah.
You've got the learning environment of developing people both off-site and in the dealership. Our friend Ed Roberts has talked to us about people don't want to necessarily be trained, but they want to be developed. John, you do that well.
I love them.
You've got all of the other consultative services that you do, plus the services that you do, and examining the dollar flow into the dealership, and I know warranty is a big part of that as well.
Oh, certainly.
But what is your strategy here at Kaiser moving forward? Because you're going to be working with these 8 stores. Tell us a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, my strategy with any new engagement is that a few things. Number one is we got to get the setup right. Okay, so the setup involves scoreboarding. Okay, it involves our menu development, because a lot of times our pricing strategies are need to be adjusted. And pricing strategies need to be adjusted a lot, okay? And I feel like most dealers don't have time to pay attention.
And it's a moving target.
It's a moving target. And so what we do is I've got a full-time guy that does mystery shops. They do labor rate surveys. And so when we go into place, we make sure the menu is homogeneous as much as it can be between the stores, but there's oftentimes some lift that you'll get because, let's face it, we may have an outdated menu.
Correct.
Right? Okay, and so the third element,
That's a great point.
it's an ongoing thing, and I do provide that service for dealers individually a la carte. So it's a great thing. But the third thing on our dashboard is a digital playbook, and then what we seek to do is to take that playbook and execute it it becomes a religion, one process at a time.
I love it. Well, John, we're going to let you get back to work here at the Kaiser Automotive Group. I know Shawn wants to make sure that we get that ROI. All right.
Yeah,
doing.
Everything's ROI these days.
Absolutely.
So John Fairchild, everybody, great friend of the Fixed Ops community and the Fixed Ops Roundtable. A lot of our best dealers utilize John's services. You've heard about some of them here today. John Fairchild here with us today with Shawn Kingrey at the Kaiser Automotive Group here today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
You know that feeling when a wave hits you? Not just the ocean, but the waves of sound, light, information. All these waves carry energy. And when you amplify that energy, it builds and grows. It becomes stronger, louder, and faster. Without this energy, there is, well, nothing. What does the wave of your dealership look like? What about our industry? What can we do to create more energy and continue moving forward? I'm Chris Walsh, president of Reynolds & Reynolds, and I want to personally invite you to the 2023 Reynolds Retail Summit, where we will amplify automotive through a 2-day event dedicated to learning, growth, and pushing all of us forward. Reimagine your current processes through workshops and presentations led by industry experts. Discover how to overcome barriers to achieving maximum profitability and connect with other top-performing dealers, leaning on our collective experiences. Join us at the Reynolds Retail Summit this September at the world-famous Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Space is limited, so register now to secure your spot. I look forward to seeing you there.
Grab your VIP tickets and head backstage with Ted Ings and his interview with Stephen Hill, the service director of I-10 Toyota.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Stephen Hill is with us. He's the service director at I-10 Toyota in Indio, California, a great friend of the Fixed Ops community and the Roundtable. Steve, welcome back to the event.
Thank you, Ted. Always a pleasure.
Steve, I thought for this event, it would be a good opportunity for our audience to get to know Stephen Hill and find out more about you. You've been in the industry for a long time. You had a thriving dealership operation there at I-10 Toyota in Southern California. I think a lot of people don't know that during your career, you've got a master's degree. I want to ask you a little bit about that. And you did some work early in your career for the aftermarkets. We're at I-10 Toyota, did a little BMW work, and now here you are, heading up an amazing operation. And congratulations on continuing to set record after record there.
I appreciate it, Ted. Yeah, my automotive background started with the aftermarket and worked my way into management there. Actually took a step backwards when I decided to go on for my master's degree. So I wrote service and went to school at night. Did my undergrad, my bachelor's is in organizational psychology, which is the psychology of business, and my master's is public administration, but a specialization in organizational leadership. So it's all about putting the right people in the right places, and how do you apply that to the business to be successful? And it's definitely helped me along the way, I'll say that.
I would imagine that's come in really handy, Steve, in what you did say. Okay, for those who don't know, and I know I've asked you this question on a number of roundtables, give us the lay of the land. Tell us a little bit about I-10 Toyota. Tell us about the geography. Tell us about the number of technicians, the growth you're experiencing, and so on.
All right, so we are in Indio, California, which is just outside Palm Springs. We're about 2.5 hours east of Los Angeles on your way to Arizona. Very growing area because folks just keep moving more and more east out of LA into the Inland Empire and now out in our neck of the woods. We have 13 advisors, 1 in training, and we are at 41 technicians at this point. And we're about to open a second location next door to us to handle off-brand. So be able to expand on our operation. But we're very blessed. The dealership just keeps growing, and fixed ops is just really taken off over the last 7-8 years. It's just one record after another. And it all comes down to we've got a solid team. When you could have the same group of people together for 5+ years, you've got something special, and then you build off of it. It's fantastic. It's fun to come to work. So I couldn't do an 8-to-5 job, and that just wouldn't be me. So coming in here and being able to work with some of the folks that I've known for 10, 15, 20 years, and some of these young men and women, getting them fresh out of high school or fresh out of UTI, and getting to watch them change and mature and grow. And, it's a fantastic journey. It really isn't for everybody, but it sure is for me.
Well, let's go down that path, if you don't mind. I was going to ask you about that a little bit later. Let's do it now. Encouraging younger people to come into our industry. Not always the easiest thing for dealerships to do. You seem to have that down. If you were talking to somebody, interested in starting a career in automotive, whether it's on the technician side or otherwise, what do you say to them, Steve Hill?
To really consider the direction they're going. This is a passion, a love, but it's also a business. So just because you enjoy working on cars on the weekend doesn't mean that you're going to necessarily want to do this for a living. And then on the flip side, with service advisors, everybody thinks they can be an advisor. Everybody thinks it's the easiest job in the world, and they have no idea what goes on behind the scenes with the service advisor. So it's usually just sitting down and before you make this decision, let's really analyze it. And we've started a trainee program for both sides, just to make sure before somebody makes a commitment and before the dealership commits into them, it's not sink or swim. We can actually coach them along and find out on both sides, is this the right fit for us? And sometimes it is, and we're really blessed to have another great member of the team that we've brought up grassroots, and sometimes it isn't, and we're able to part ways without any hard feelings, and we know that we gave it our best on both sides.
Is that the answer for dealerships to grow their own people? Because a lot of times, you've got dealerships taking somebody from another store, and that always goes around. But is the answer to be organic and to grow it from within and start them out and bring them up with your culture, which I know I-10 Toyota has its own unique culture?
Absolutely. And I've gotten to the point where it's usually a turnoff if they have dealership experience somewhere else. And we've developed a culture, and that is exactly it. Side story, I had a meeting with one of the administrators at our local school district, and they're trying to change the culture there. And so he was asking me, hey, you guys have been so successful over there, and what is it? And I was like, it all comes down to you have to be full on. This is it. We are going to change it. And I'm going to lead by example. And then when folks start realizing, okay, this is the expectation, it grows from there. But somebody has to start it. It's usually up top. And if I'm bringing in, whether it's a technician or an advisor, and they've got a list of bad habits, they've jumped from here to there, there's usually a reason why. And I'm not going to let any one person come in and destroy the culture. There's 85 people in this department that depend on that to be able to put food on the table and take care of their families. So no matter how good they look on paper, I would much rather have that young man or young woman that we get organically and grow up. And darn it, I want them to learn my bad habits.
Well put, Steve. Okay, here we are in September, mid-September, up against fall. We got about 3.5 months left in the year. Looking out over the balance of the year and even into early 2024. I can't believe I'm saying that already. What are your main focuses for business, and what should your peers be aware of and looking at right now, the people watching this?
Right now, I'm really weary of a flat rate. I believe that the manufacturers are doing what they do, but as these EVs come out, even with the hybrid vehicles, it's getting more and more difficult for a master technician to make a real living with the amount of time that a lot of this pays. So we've started a transition program here for diagnostic techs and getting them off the flat rate and be able to show them that, no, you've got extra value because you've put in the time, you've put in the expertise, you've gotten your ASCs, you've done all the coursework. We want to keep you, and we want to keep you here, and we want to keep you happy. You are a valued part of the team. Where so many times I hear from technicians from other stores that they feel the higher they climb, the less they're appreciated. They just get shoved all the tough diagnostic work, but yet they're not making a living. And I wanted to make sure that we were innovative, and we started getting ahead of that curve. I don't want to lose any of our teammates, and especially the ones that we've grown together. So we've decided to try out this new pay structure and bring it in. And I'm sure that over the next couple of years, we're going to have to tweak it and modify it to make it work. But flat rate, I just honestly, I feel that flat rate is on its way out. It's going to become more and more difficult for the young technicians to make that jump from entry level up to diagnostic. But that's something as an industry we're going to have to work on too.
Speaking of innovate, I was going to ask you who you see as competitors to the dealership today, but you mentioned just a little while ago, you're opening up a new service center for off brands.
Yep.
Steve, speak to us about that.
Well, there's too many times that we sell a car and it's a non-Toyota. And so then we're having to refer them over to the Chevy store, to the Nissan store. Well, we're just letting that money go. Whether it's an extended warranty job that we sold the plan on, or it's just the maintenance. I started looking at, we've got untapped potential of these vehicles that we've just let go. And the idea actually came from our customers. They may have a Toyota and then also have a Nissan, and they hate going to the Nissan store. Right. So they prefer the service that we offer. And they're, hey, can I bring the car here? And that's just started picking up steam to the point where we realized we're onto something, and we just continue to offer that higher level of service. People are going to continue to want to do business with us. The trust is there, the relationship's there. So why not? It just made sense.
Now, is that open today, or is that coming in the future?
Actually, the building is in progress. We're probably looking about 8 months. So right now, expanding the shop, a whole new showroom, and it is going to be gorgeous. So really excited about this change. We're putting some serious time and money as an auto group into making sure this thing comes out right.
What's it going to be called? Do you have a name yet for it?
Actually, that's a work in progress right now. That's going around, but yeah, we'll have we'll have some more discussions on that, I think, the closer that it gets.
Okay. All right. I want to bring you back and we'll talk about that some more as we get a little bit closer.
Absolutely.
So a lot of changes going on in the industry right now. You're in California, which is probably the leader, I think, unquestionably, in terms of EVs, that are being sold. What do you see for the future? I mean, some parts of the country have not been as quick to embrace it. In some parts of the country, EVs were selling briskly and have leveled off a little bit now. There's a lot of competition. There's been talk about battery chargers. That range anxiety is a new phrase that people are starting to learn. And of course, there's the leader, in Tesla out there. A lot of people don't want to mention that name, but what do you see for the future?
I think that no matter how you feel about the EVs themselves, it is going to be a great thing in the fact that it's bringing innovation. It's bringing all kinds of new players into the business. I read an article a couple months ago about a way of charging the electric system as you're driving down the road, and they've got little chargers underneath the pavement. And I mean, we're seeing all kinds of new ideas coming to the forefront, and it's going to build an infrastructure, even if it's not just for EVs. You've got other options out there that are also environmentally friendly with the hydrogen. Toyota's got the Mirai. Honda, I believe, did something a little while back. If we could start seeing more and more of an infrastructure on these other items, now you're giving folks the option. What do I want to go with the fossil fuels? Do I want to stay with the way it currently is? Do I want a hybrid? Do I want an EV? Do I want something that's not hydrogen? We are now opening up the industry to a whole new world that would have been unthinkable 20 years ago.
And let's go back to that technology, Steve. There's so much technology. I can't believe how much I've seen in the last 18 months, let alone the last 5 years. And it's a totally different business, than it was maybe even 10, 12 years ago. Speak to us about that, because we're seeing AI now embedded in a lot of things. In some areas, that's working extremely well. Others, it still has to be figured out. I think that's going to happen. Okay. But talk to us about the technology we've got available to us now, because I know at one time you were a service drive manager. So that's a passion, that's very close to your heart in the way we write customers up.
Well, most of the time, the guest knows just as much about those features as anybody at the dealership, from the front end or the back end. They've done their homework before they bought this car. They know what portions have AI. They know what portions are going to do what, and the bells and whistles that tie in with it. So you need to have not just your technicians up to speed with that technology, but also the folks up in the front, because typically that guest that knows what it is that's going on in there, they're going to keep you there for a good 25, 30 minutes talking about each and every feature that they've done their homework on. And we fail to realize that the amount of education that goes into our technicians in order to be able to work with these systems, it's not like the days of 60, 70 years ago. You now have a computer controlling the headlights. You have a computer controlling almost every aspect. The new Priuses, some of them are coming with more than 50 computers on board. So it's very in depth, and we fail to realize as a society just how much training, how much education, how much knowledge goes into our technicians. It's really something special.
Fascinating discussion, Steve. Look forward to having you back on many more roundtables. And I want to thank you for all the contributions you make to Fixed Ops, to you personally.
Oh, Ted, I appreciate what you're doing for the business. This has opened up so many doors between great vendors, great experiences with other managers. Somebody needed to do this, and you were definitely the right person to get this show on the road. Thank you.
Steve Hill, I've had a lot of help, with folks like you. So, you've definitely helped us come a long way. So everybody, Steve Hill is the service director at I-10 Toyota, Indio, California. His email is scrolling across the bottom if you want to reach out to him. He's also very active on social media. You'll see him on LinkedIn. You'll see him on Facebook and others. So Steve, thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, my pleasure. I love to help. So any questions, feel free to reach out.
Steve Hill, everybody, here today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Everybody wants to be part of a bigger story. And to see something like this in such a big industry is a big accomplishment.
When I heard about Rapid Recon, I was like, man, that's ahead of its time. And now I feel like it's absolutely revolutionary. We are changing the automotive industry one dealership at a time.
Just about anybody can tell you that you are struggling or that you might have a bottleneck somewhere. But what do you do about that?
Rapid Recon is the one software that unifies all the departments. You're going to go from chaos to organization.
Reconditioning is all about making a vehicle ready for sale. The whole idea of Rapid Recon is to take 15 days average to get these cars ready to sell and take it down to 3 to 5.
You can see the bottlenecks that we can eliminate. As a dealer, to be able to log into a website or your app on the phone and know precisely where each car is from all your dealerships, that's invaluable.
We can give the decision makers information that they need to make the decision immediately.
It's live. You can log into Rapid Recon and see exactly where you are. What it means is making decisions based on true information. It makes all the difference in the world.
What gets measured gets better over time, and Rapid Recon does that for us. There's nothing like that in the market.
I oversee 19 of our stores. We're processing 2,500 cars a month. You need technology to make it more effective and overall more profitable.
Rapid Recon is more than software. What's unique about Rapid Recon is the people that come with it.
One of the reasons why we're so good at this is because a lot of us did come out of the car industry.
The software is amazing and it's a tool, but we're not software people. We're car people.
And we know the pains that dealers are going through, not because we've been taught it, but because we've lived it.
We get so much praise for our customer service and how well we take care of our customers, and it's because we genuinely care.
They're not going through an automated system. When they call, it's a live person right there. Rapid Recon is just not the name of the company. Rapid means we gotta be fast and accurate.
If you want to be as efficient as you possibly can, if you want to be as profitable as you can, you absolutely should have Rapid Recon as your system.
We're a small company, but we're gonna change the whole industry.
I'm really excited about how the company's growing. I see us in more dealerships worldwide.
In 5 years, you're going to see that Rapid Recon is a must for every dealership.
We're making a big difference. We're changing this industry in a way that it's needed to change for a long time.
Hanging on the edge of your seat for our next speaker? Well, no sweat. We've got Aaron Waters, president of OEM Interactive, up next.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Ted Ings. We are joined today by Aaron Waters, who is the president of OEM Interactive. Aaron, first time at the roundtable. Welcome to FORTSTOCK.
It is. Thank you for having us, Ted. And we're really excited and happy to be here. We're loving this theme, and we felt like this was the theme that we needed to be a part of. Right? we love our people. We love our partners, and it's it couldn't get any better here with this particular theme. So we had to jump in head first.
Your timing is great. I have heard so much about OEM Interactive. And before we get into it, the Woodstock theme, the FORTSTOCK theme is very timely. It's a lot of fun. As you can see, a lot of folks are, we've got the music going, a lot of people dressing up. Yeah. And Aaron, I think you're in a great space right now. We followed you for some time. So for our audience, take us through the basics. Let's start with what is OEM Interactive?
In simplest terms, we're a full service digital marketing firm that's comprised of marketing and automotive, specifically fixed operations experts and veterans. We specialize in working with individuals or brands or dealerships that are looking to push more online parts and accessory sales. That could be automotive, aftermarket, power sports, boat, RVs, you name it, parts and accessory related. We are the go-to source for that.
Isn't it amazing? We're talking about parts and marketing and service and marketing. Years ago, that wasn't even a conversation. And I got to say, parts hasn't exactly been the most sexy part of the dealership, but now there's a lot of focus because people are realizing that's the engine under the hood that makes the car run.
It really is. And it's, you're right. It may traditionally not be the sexiest thing out there, but especially with, my background coming from the traditional agency world, big agency shop, working with Fortune 500 companies. I've worked on Super Bowl campaigns. We've done, our team has done a lot in that space, and it's a different world and than the parts and accessories. And we've taken a lot of that knowledge and have applied it to the parts and accessory side of things, because we've seen the opportunity that's out there for dealerships to get into the space, and it's just it's growing at an exponential rate each year.
I think our audience is super interested. I know now when we talk about parts, they actually sit on the edge of their seats, because we've learned there's so much to the online channel, okay, to being involved as opposed to not getting in the game, and that online presence for the parts department. And there's so many facets to that. It's just, Aaron, it's really amazing. And, your background certainly speaks to that as well.
Yeah, I think, the parts department, we break it down in a couple different pillars of the parts department, if you will. You've got your local wholesale, you've got your .com strategy, which is your traditional e-commerce. You've got your marketplace strategy, which is your Amazons, your eBays, your Walmarts. And then you've got your in-house strategy. What are you doing to sell accessories to people who are buying new and used cars? So have you focused on those strategies? Do you have a strategy for each one of those pillars? And if you don't, you really need to consider that and think about those things and have a strategy for each one of those pillars. And that's what we do. That's what we work with all of our partners and talk to them about, okay, you want to get into Amazon, you want to get into eBay. Okay, well, let's talk about that. And let's understand what your expectations are, what your goals are about getting into that space. And does it align with your dealership or your company's process, your goals, and so on. So, and some of these strategies are right for some, and some are not for others. But we go through that, and we recommend the best options to help you sell more parts and accessories, but most importantly, be profitable in that process.
Everybody, we're speaking today to Aaron Waters. He is the president of a company called OEM Interactive, working directly with dealerships. Aaron, why is technology so important right now for dealers at this time? Here we are in the middle of September. A lot of dealers now have been sitting on the sidelines on the parts department opportunities. Why technology, and why now?
Consumers are changing. The market is always changing. Right. And if COVID has taught us anything, it's just that, anything can happen at any given point in time, and we need to be prepared to change and make pivots, and technology is helping us do that. We have to embrace that and not be afraid of it. And some technology, once again, some technology is right for some and not as much for others. And one thing that I will say, there is no silver bullet. Everybody's looking for that silver bullet, that one thing that's definitely going to save everything. That's not the case. We look at all of our partners as unique and individuals, and they all have a different set of goals, and certain strategies and certain technologies will recommend and apply to some of our partners, and others we just feel that maybe it's not the right fit. But getting into this space helps our partners and helps dealerships or individuals just kind of expand their reach and get out, cast a wider net. Consumers, look, like, we're all online shoppers, right? You go to Amazon, you go to eBay, you go to Banana Republic or whatever. We are all shopping online, and consumers are smart. And we have this wealth of information at our fingertips or in the palm of our hands. And we can, if something, and we never know when our car is going to break down, right? And we're not really planning for that our car to, just break down on us on the side of the road. And when it does, we have to get it fixed as quickly as possible. And how do we do that? How can we get it back on the road? The car might be our livelihood to putting food on the table. And we need to, be able to get those parts and or accessories to us as consumers as fast as possible. So how can I find those items? Right. So this allows dealerships to get out there and be at all these different touch points when consumers need them the most, whether, the consumers in Pennsylvania and you're in California, consumers are there 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And that's the great thing about e-commerce is, and having an online store, is your doors are open all day.
That's right. Yeah.
All day. You never close. And it's funny, Ted, I got a call from a partner of ours on Monday, and he goes, Aaron, he's like, we're swamped. He's like, I just walked in to 252 orders here on Monday over the weekend. Wow. And he's like, I got a guy on vacation. He's like, can we pull back or on the advertising or something for a day or two so I can box all these things up? And I'm like, hey, not a problem. We can pull it back for you. Do you need any help?
Isn't that a nice problem?
Yeah. Can we help you answer any emails? Can we help you answer the phones? What can we do to help you get caught up with these orders? And those are the types of things that we do for our partners. But that's the great thing about technology in today's space. Consumers are everywhere. They're constantly shopping. They're looking for a good deal, and they're also looking for a good experience, right? They want to have
how about that, Aaron? Experience in the parts department, huh? We never talked about that before. And you're right. As a consumer, most times I'm buying things at night when the dealership is closed, or on Sundays, dealership is closed. Who do you work with at the dealership level? Who's involved?
Great question. So we traditionally work with the parts department, the parts managers, parts counter personnel. We like to work with fixed ops directors. We like to work with general managers. We like to work with owners, marketing personnel. This truly is a partnership with how our philosophy works. The more people that we interact and engage with, the better we have a better understanding of what everybody's goals are, but also what everyone's skill sets are and expectations are. And we plan everything out for our partners. And once again, there's no one size fits all kind of solution for everybody here. And everybody has a different set of goals. We have partners that want to just sell $10,000 a month. And hey, that's great. They're happy with that. That's all that they can handle. And then we have partners that want to sell $1 million a month. And hey, that's great too. That's a whole different animal. That's a whole different beast. And we need to have different conversations. And who's going to be involved in that process to getting us to those numbers, right? And having those conversations and those different departments in the mix is to us, it's super important. So there's a clear line of communication. Everybody knows what everybody's doing. We'll see from time to time that the marketing department has set up social channels for the parts website. But the people that are manning those social channels really don't know a lot about the parts industry and how that works. And they may not be communicating the right message as what the parts department or the parts manager would normally be communicating back to them. And once again, as we're all consumers, we're really smart. And if we can't get a hold of someone from the phone number that's on the website, where do we go to next? We'll go to social. We'll go to Twitter. We'll go to Facebook. We'll go to Instagram. We'll go and reach out on those social platforms to try to get a response from the website, from the business. And that's what happens. And so we want to make sure that all the communication channels are aligned and everybody's working in synergy with one another. So we work with a lot of people on the dealership side, and that just makes for a great relationship and a true partnership. And that's what we're all about, is being a true partner.
So Aaron, if I had to ask you to describe OEM Interactive, your company, in one word, what would it be?
Partner. I keep saying this, right? I keep saying this, partner.
Yeah.
And I, with my background and a lot of our other team members' backgrounds, some of us come from the traditional agency world, others come from the automotive, being in the fixed ops space and so on. And we want to connect the two, right? And really bring them together. And I hate the term of vendor, right? Vendor to me is such a negative term, and likewise as client. And I don't want to refer to you as a client. I want to refer to you as a partner. I don't want you to refer to me as a vendor. I want you to refer to me as a partner. We are a true partner for our partners, and that's our philosophy here. We go on kind of the 3 Ps: our people, our partners, and our process.
I love it. Okay,
and that's what really I think sets us apart from other agencies in the space.
I was going to ask you as the final question today for you, Aaron, what makes OEM Interactive different than others in this space? You've given us some of that. Anything else you want to close with?
Yeah, Ted, like I said, our people, we believe in, we are a very cultural, driven company. It's super important to me. And creating a great culture that our people, my colleagues, not my employees, I work for and with my coworkers, my colleagues, and I'm there to help them, and they're there to help me, and they are there to help our partners, and it works in synergy. And that's just our big focus is our people, and that's our philosophy, and that follows into our process. Everything that we do is process driven, data driven, and it's very, very clearly outlined to our partners. Our partners know what's going on at any given point in time. Lots of communication between OEM Interactive and our partners, and that really sets us, like I said, it sets us apart from everyone else. And we're really proud of, we have a really high retention rate. It's like around 90. I think last I was told it was like 98.7% retention rate, and so we don't have a big churn with our partners. And when somebody does leave us, I'm on the phone, and like I take it so personal, like, guys, what's going on here? But we love our people, we love our partners, we love our philosophy, we love our process. So I think that those are the things that really set us apart from everyone else.
Everybody, you're going to hear a whole lot about OEM Interactive now and into the future. Aaron Waters is the president of OEM Interactive. They work directly with dealers, super timing, parts department, marketing. Aaron, if our audience wants to reach out to you and to OEM Interactive for more information, what's the best way, Aaron, for them to do that?
Yeah, Ted. You can reach out to us. You can check us out at oeminteractive.com. You can email me directly at awaters, and that's WATTERS at oeminteractive.com. I think that those are probably the two best ways to get in contact with us. You can always call us at 888-939-4634. That's our main line, and you can reach us there as well. But we respond very quickly. We love to converse and talk to anyone. Really get a good understanding of what your goals are, what you're looking to achieve, what you've done in the past, and what you're looking for in the future.
Everybody, Aaron Waters from OEM Interactive. Aaron, I'm going to ask you to come back to the next Fixed Ops Roundtable, and let's take it up a couple notches.
Yeah,
and,
let's do it.
Perhaps even have a round robin. Let's get a few other retail folks on board, and let's hear a little bit more. So excited about what you're doing. Thank you for all you're doing in the Fixed Ops community. Everybody, if you'd like to reach out, Aaron Waters, president at OEM Interactive. You'll hear a lot about them here on the Roundtable. Big part of parts marketing moving forward. Aaron, on behalf of the Fixed Ops Roundtable, thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Ted. Really appreciate it.
Aaron Waters, everybody, from OEM Interactive, here today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Hi there. My name is Aaron Waters. I'm the president and founder here of OEM Interactive, the digital marketing firm that specializes in online parts and accessory sales. At OEM Interactive, our philosophy has always been very straightforward. Our people, our partners is our purpose. Our team is built of experts not only in marketing and advertising, but also in fixed operations. Our expertise and strategies are proven to supercharge your online parts and accessory sales. Sound good to you so far? Great. Head on over to oeminteractive.com to learn more about partnering with us. OEM Interactive. Sell more parts today.
Let's boogie with Brook.ai and Tiffany Peeler, along with Jason Tate of Keffer Kia.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. We have some great friends to welcome back to the event. Tiffany Peeler is here. She's the Vice President of Sales and Operations at Brook.ai. And joining us today, Jason Tate, the Director of Service Operations at Keffer Kia. Tiffany and Jason, welcome to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Hi, Ted. Thank you. Happy to be
Thank
back.
you. Thank you. Yeah, glad to be here.
Great to see both of you. Tiffany, a lot happening in the world of AI. It's all the buzz. And Jason, honored to have you as well. I know you are having some great experience with it, so I'm eager to ask you some questions. First of all, Jason, give us the lay of the land. Where's your dealership located? Give us a little background on that.
Yeah, no problem. We're in Mooresville, North Carolina, about 30 miles north of Charlotte, North Carolina, which a lot of people are familiar with the growth there.
dealership's been here for about 20 years as far as that goes. So definitely going through some modifications and improvements and growth here. So, definitely at Keffer Auto Group, we embrace the technology. We want to be considered as cutting edge. We do. We use a lot of the AI technology. We use a lot of streamlined processes through technology, obviously to service our customers better and also our team, right? To give them back some time back in the drive to build relationships. Same thing with technicians on the other side with our digital MPIs and videos that we do.
Excellent. Love that.
Yeah.
So take us back in time a little bit. Keffer was using an outsourced call center, if you will. Take us from that to the transition to, how you came about using Brook AI.
Well, yeah. So originally when I got here, we were using an outside BDC center. Some of the problems that initially arose immediately was the fact that we weren't getting our escalations, right? Our escalation emails, our callback emails, which creates obviously a big customer service nightmare from a standpoint of communication, right? Which that's the pathway to that, number one. So, just a pain point that I couldn't get corrected with the communication with that particular company. So, got in touch with Tiffany there at Proactive, had some conversations and her team, and really they rolled out a pretty nice, layout that on paper looked great, right? So we're all going to be skeptical at first, but again, working through that and with her team, through the whole onboarding process of Brook was pretty flawless. I'm very detailed in my X-Time scheduler, so the schedule and everything wasn't going to be a problem. So that side of it, transitioned very easily. And then the same thing, making the minor tweaks and things along the way. We do utilize Brook.ai up front, so it does accept every phone call coming in. And then we use their BDC as a backup, right? The virtual BDC there at their location. So kind of works good hand in hand to give my advisors as much time in the drive to build those relationships and have the time to make sure that quotes are correct, that the customers are updated, doing their follow-up calls. And really, I've seen a big increase in hours per RO and KSI. We were in probably the bottom third here. I'm going to be honest, we were bottom third coming in our customer service, which is KSI for Kia. And now we are just a few points below being at the top 25% in the country. So something very proud that and there's a lot of factors for that, but very proud in the fact that the team obviously embraces new process, a new manager coming in at that time. I've been with the Keffer Auto Group. This will finish my 6th year actually in September. So starting my 7th year in September here with the group. But my first kind of full year and a half here at this location here, but definitely has aided in the communication process and streamlining that to help aid in our success for the driving KSI.
Tiffany, it's very refreshing to hear the success that Jason is having. I would imagine that there are a lot of dealerships. I think in this day and age, the resistance should pretty much be gone to having a service BDC, if you will. Okay, I can't imagine that a dealership would expect, for example, a F&I or business manager to be closing out contracts, dealing with customers, and handling incoming calls in the finance department. And now, of course, that's all translated over to service. But now, Tiffany, this is the next logical step, is what Brook.ai is doing.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, every once in a while, I'll still run across a store that is leaning on the advisors to act as everything, right? They're answering the calls, they're taking care of the customers in front of them, they're making their outbound status update calls. But every once in a while, we run into that scenario. But as we kind of talk through it, service managers and GMs are really honest, and they're saying, listen, my guys are doing everything. And yeah, it would be great if we can free up some time for them to be able to focus more on the customer in front of them, to Jason's point, make sure we're doing the proper walk around. We're recommending additional services that the vehicle needs so that we can make sure that we're taking good care of their cars. And ideally making the outbound status update calls that the customers want to hear, or at least communicating with them via text, leveraging the technology that they have within, in this case, X-Time, and to be able to communicate with the customer. And so they're pretty honest if they have that setup that, ideally we could eliminate these appointment calls, or at least a bulk of them. Doing that for Jason was really easy because he was an early adopter. He's an innovator, understands that we should be leveraging technology to handle the routine requests. In his case, he wasn't getting exactly what he was looking for from his previous provider and didn't want to build an in-house service BDC because time, money, expense, right? Oversight. And so we were able to pair for him, and have been doing this for a number of our stores. We were able to pair the Brook application with our virtual BDC team to create a service BDC offering for him completely, right? Which has been really great.
Jason, was it a difficult transition to move over to Brook.ai?
And it wasn't, right? So again, there's struggles with it if your system's not set up correctly. So if your opcodes don't tie to your DMS and everything integrates correctly, then there is some legwork that needs to be done. But honestly, that legwork should already be done as a manager anyways, to make sure that the success of your team, you don't have all these faults and everything is going to the correct locations. Because at least with Xtime, in their Engage platform, if the opcodes aren't tied to where they need to go and directed to where they need to go and pair up, then you throw fault codes, it doesn't automatically add the line, and then that's extra work for your advisors now. So, and me coming in as an advisor, working as an advisor, and then going into lane manager, assistant manager, and service manager relatively quickly, right, in the business, then I understand all of those pain points, of great, we're going to develop a new process and this is just going to add more work for me because we're not going to complete it, right? That's the dread of the service advisor. So knowing that going into it and making that pretty streamlined, pretty flawless, and correcting the little things there, here and there that they do throw the errors, then yes, it's very easy. I think, Tiffany, correct me if I'm wrong, but everything was pretty much done in about 3 days with us, because we turned it on really quickly when I came because I needed to be aggressive and needed a quick change, which I expressed to the team there. And like I said, they did a good job and everything was right. So it kind of plug and played. So
yeah, we were able to do the onboarding really fast. But in Jason's case, he showed up. He showed up. He already had his system kind of perfected on the scheduling tool end. This is the thing. Technology is only good as the people kind of managing it. Our team does take on the brunt of the work behind it. We know what to look for in the scheduling tool or DMS, whatever it is that we're integrating Brook with. However, we need the people in store to want to make those changes. And in Jason's case, he wanted to make the changes to ensure that the application was able to function in his environment, and he did so immediately. Sometimes we are met with a little pushback when it comes to capacities. And that's probably the greatest one, right? Well, we'll have stores that want to stop appointments at 11 a.m. in the morning. And that means that Brook is taking calls in the morning and has filled up the schedule and isn't able to appoint anybody who's calling in at 9:30. We're having to push them out to the next day or maybe 2 days later. And so we really have to work with service managers and GMs to kind of understand it's all about being able to offer a customer an appointment as early as you can possibly do it for them. That's going to equal a greater conversion rate on appointments for Brook. In Jason's case, also, because we're pairing it with the virtual BDC, for any customers who want or need to speak to a person, that's going over to our team. And our team is able to understand that call is coming to us from behind Brook, and we're answering on behalf of his store. So it's, thank you for calling Keffer Kia. My name is Tiffany. I understand you just spoke to Brook and you have a question about this, or you have a need about this, right? And we're able to kind of pick up that conversation from there. And in his case, originally he had a problem with the other provider of not, sending escalations to them. Our team, if it's a status update or if they have a question or if they have a customer who has a need right now, they're able to send a notification to Jason's team immediately so that they can action that, right? So it's almost as if we're working inside the store for him. So it's really been seamless.
Well, let me follow up on that with Jason. Jason, you mentioned some of the benefits you've seen since making the switch. Talk about that pairing of Brook.ai and the virtual BDC. Has that helped you improve customer service?
Yeah, 100%, and the reason being, because like I said, if we can't communicate as a business to our customers, you can forget about anything else KSI wise, right? kind of like if we can't do an oil change and a tire rotation in under 40 minutes and provide that service accurately and efficiently, along with a car wash, right? So everybody wants their car cleaned nowadays too as well. So we do that service as well. But, you know, first step is communication, right? If you can't, and I always say this, but if you can't get the first date, you're not going to get the second one. So, you know, making that appointment, having the availability in the schedule, having Brook AI available 24/7, 365, on top of having a backup BDC that answers it personalized, polite, right? That's the two main factors in mind, right? Because you got to be a good human being, you got to be kind to people, and you got to, you know, that's going to be the foundation of everything. And to have her team be able to answer and act just as one of my team members, because they're willing to accept the policies and procedures and actually follow them, which is the key point, right? Follow the procedures that we set in place, and even manage little tweaks and things like that, has been the success. Really is two teams working together as one, which doesn't typically happen a lot in business, right? Typically you get two parties and they start clashing and then it's finger pointing. But honestly, it's been that pairing right there, and being able to have access to their managers, direct, you know, cell phone numbers and things like that, so we can make changes on the fly and do what we need to, so that my customer base, or I should say our customer base here at Keffer Kia, is able to service our customers as they're always changing. Their needs are always changing. So being able to be proactive with that, sorry for the plug on that, but you're probably glad about that. But being proactive, you know, not reactive to the situation, right, is the key. So really it's been nice, because I haven't had to, you know, assemble my own BDC and things like that, because I'm not getting the results that I need from their team. So it's been a big help, you know, and two, on top of, and you may ask me this question next, I'm not sure, but, you know, has helped eliminate some costs too. So.
Okay. Well, go ahead, Tiffany.
I just wanted to add one thing, and this is a little bit of a shout out to Jason, but I want to kind of brag on you for a little bit, because when he went into that store, a new manager kind of coming in, he, you know, brought some new team members onto in the advisor positions, and he really focused on training, right? So part of the benefit of digital assistance is being able to free up time from your team. That's really the value add we're talking about here. Whether you have an in-house BDC or you have advisors that are answering calls, the goal is to save them some time so that that time can be repurposed in a more effective way, right? And in Jason's case, he took the opportunity to repurpose that time to train his people. And that training of those advisors and what they do with the customer in the lane, or what they're doing while the customer's car is with them, is really been able to impact on, also been able to have an impact on your KSI, but also has really had an impact on the bottom line. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you've been able to accomplish as far as growth in the service department since you've been there?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, coming in, and again, I never speak bad at any place, whether I work at or don't work at, or whatever the case may be, or competition or anything of that nature. But I definitely had a handful of challenges that we had to overcome, right? Luckily, I had a base of people, technician-wise, that had been here for a long time. So I knew I had a good foundation, right? Because if our people are going to stick with it through some tough times, they're going to be real happy when we get to the good times. So I had a good foundation of employees that have been here, and our group does, you know, a very good job at identifying those people, putting them in the right places, and then kind of progressing them along in their career to where, like I said, we all know that we're going to go through some hiccups. But just in the year and a couple months that I've been here, you know, one, we turned it from a negative, obviously a loss, into a decent profit last year, you know, and I give all that credit to my team, right? I do understand and know what handles the pool and procedures and training and kind of the human side of it too. But, you know, I do give all the credit to my people for trusting me, jumping on board with me painting the picture for them. And do that is really the trick to my success there on that, or our success. I hate to say our success there. But we've actually, right now, we're about 4.5 to 5 times the amount of growth than the store's ever done this year. Yeah. So, and that's the net too. So it's also fell to the bottom line, as we were talking about costs, you know, going in and identifying our cost issues, fixing those, changing some services around, and really getting everything geared towards making sure the cost is in line, and then growing as a team, not necessarily in numbers, but in performance based on training and then tools like these to be able to do that. So it's been a very impressive climb in a very short period. We're actually going into and have an expansion approved. So we're going to double the size of the shop, double the size of the parts room, and also put in a 2-lane enclosed drive. And that's just a testament to the growth that the team's been able to accomplish. So it's been a lot of things to be excited about for sure.
Love it.
We're speaking, everybody, to Jason Tate. He's the Director of Service Operations at Keffer Kia. Tiffany Peeler at Brook.ai is with us. Jason, I've one final question for you today, for your colleagues, for your peers who are watching today and considering making the switch from the present condition that they have to start using AI, because I think they're all hearing a lot about it, and your success story is very impressive. Using AI with a virtual call center, what would you say to your peers?
I would say you're way behind the 8 ball if you're not embracing it and getting into it. And again, here at our group, at Keffer Auto Group, we stay on the edge of technology. We want to be right at the cutting edge of it, utilize it, because it is the pathway, right, to exponential growth, and we see it. I've seen it myself. So again, you're going to be way behind if you don't get on board and start to embrace it and go. But it doesn't come without a lot of work. So you got to make sure everything is dialed in correct, and everything, all the other measures are lined up. So, but yeah, and again, as a group, we will always be on that edge. So I'm very proud to be part of our auto group here at Keffer Auto Group. So,
all right, there you have it, everybody. Jason Tate at Keffer Kia, having great success with the virtual call center and Brook.ai. Brook.ai is the technology behind that. Tiffany Peeler, easy to reach at Brook.ai. If you have questions or if you'd like to have some more information on how this can work for you. Tiffany, I see you on all the social media platforms on LinkedIn and Facebook and so on. So congratulations to both of you on the success that you're having with Brook.ai.
Thank you, Ted. Thanks again for having us. Jason, thanks for joining and doing this with me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you, guys. I appreciate the invite, and it was a pleasure to meet you. And yeah, wish everybody the best of luck.
All right, Jason, we'll have to have you come back and hear some more from you down the road and on your continued success with the expansion and all that. So Jason Tate, everybody, Keffer Kia, Tiffany Peeler from Brook.ai here with us today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
next, we've got the dynamic duo. Please welcome Les Silver of Dynatron Software and Marcus Aman.
Welcome back at the Fixed Ops Roundtable. What a great discussion to be had on technician productivity. We've got two of the experts in the field. Les Silver is with us. He's the executive chairman of Dynatron Software. And also coming back to the roundtable today, Marcus Aman from Bayley. Les and Marcus, welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Ted, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to be with you.
Yeah, glad to be back, Ted. It's been a while.
Great to have both of you. What a fantastic discussion. And Les, if you don't mind, I'd like to kick things off with you, if that's all right. Les, here we are, middle of May 2023. What do you see? What issues are dealers facing today in terms of technician productivity?
Well, technician productivity sort of fits in the overall equation. If you ask dealers, do you want more work? You'll find that 99 out of 100 are saying, sure, bring it on. Inherent in that, though, is the ability to get that work done. No point in having work if it's going to create a backlog and have your customers dissatisfied because they can't get the work completed. So the productivity element, being able to generate hours, being able to turn jobs, is a critical constraint. You can't just sell. You can only sell if you have the capacity to be able to deliver. And one key element of that capacity is how much work can a technician, in fact, turn. The productivity side of it is vitally important, being able to get the work done.
Makes a lot of sense, Les. Marcus, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'll echo a lot of that. And, it's, understanding if you can get more out of your shop or your technicians, are we scheduling enough work? Can we schedule more work? How do I understand if a technician is being efficient or not? Are our technicians doing their minimum job requirements, their multi-point, their DVIs, and getting the recommendations up in a timely manner? Are they above or below a set baseline? And are they improving on a 3, 6, 12-month benchmark? And if they're not, why? It's understanding some of those things that I think is really, really helpful.
Marcus, you've got your roots in retail as a former fixed ops director. I remember that. And you've been very busy lately in tackling a lot of these concerns and issues. Marcus, what steps should dealers be taking to identify those issues in productivity and capacity right now?
Yeah, I think capacity can be a huge issue. I think it starts with looking at the data and understanding, what you're currently doing versus what you could be doing. And in order to do that, you have to understand the data behind your everyday operations. How many hours are in the day? How many bays do you have? How many technicians do we have staffed today, tomorrow, this week? Do we also have express service bays? If so, how many bays and what type of production can we get out of them? What is my average bay time per vehicle I work on? How many appointments can we take in per hour per bay? And then what about free capacity for service advisors and the sold work that they sell? Another one is what percentage of your customers are waiting versus dropping off? Solving this capacity issue can be somewhat of a jigsaw puzzle, as all of the pieces have to kind of fit together, sometimes a little more loosely than snug. However, finding some of the answers to these questions will help you better understand any capacity problem you might have.
Les, your thoughts on what dealers need to do to identify those issues in production and capacity?
Well, the key is to be able to give the service advisor an inventory of free capacity to be able to sell. If you ask the service advisor, have you found any additional service work? Whatever inspection process, as an example, is going to find things that may be wrong with the vehicle. How aggressively is the service advisor going to be explaining to the customer that that's needed if they don't have the capacity to deliver? Fact is that service advisors are wanting to be aggressive, but they're also pain averse. if they're going to find themselves in a situation where they promise the customer additional work and they don't get it done, they're creating a problem for themselves, and they're just not going to do it. So it's always important that there be spare capacity in order to be able to have something, spare inventory to be able to sell. Now, that comes from technician available hours, or it comes from technicians being able to do more in the hours that they're there. So staffing properly, but also having a level of productivity, parts availability, knowing where the car is. You know, one of the things that attracted me to Marcus and the work that's being doing in Bayley is they're looking at things that are going to allow the same number of technicians to be more productive by weeding out waste and by finding their opportunity to you know, I'm not going to spend 10 minutes looking for a car. I know where that car is, and I'm just going to go and get it. You know, that's 10 minutes more that you can produce. And if you don't have that capability, you're going to be stuck with very poor production levels and very poor capacity.
We're speaking today to Les Silver of Dynatron Software and Marcus Aman of Bayley on the subject of technician productivity, two leaders in our industry. Les, you've been involved in a whole lot of technology and brought a lot of things to market over the past number of years. Les, and I know you're working and have been watching also the good work that Marcus is doing at the dealership level as well. Les, what strategies have you found that are effective in managing workflow and ensuring the techs can work at their highest level of productivity? And then, Marcus, I'll ask you the same question as well.
Well, first of all, do you really know where the technicians are, what they're doing and what they're working on, and what performance standards is expected for every job that they're doing? You know, one of the things that Bayley provides in one of their programs is the ability to be able to time every line item on every job and to be able to know how long did it take for that technician from start to finish to get to the job, to, as Marcus mentioned, get approval if there's ASRs that are necessary. You know, these are time sinks that you really suck up a good chunk of the day if you don't do it very, you know, very professionally. So knowing what the technician is doing, knowing what each technician is working on in the stall at any moment, knowing and providing them with the capability to get parts, get cars, so that they're able to produce. That's the whole, you know, talk to Tully, hours. You know, we've got to be able to find available hours and use them effectively.
Yeah, makes so much sense. Marcus, your thoughts on strategies to be effective?
Yeah, well, I think technician productivity is huge, and I just want to say I have the utmost respect for technicians. You know, working on vehicles is tough, and it's a manual job, of course, and it really takes special individuals to do that job, and we should honor them more. In saying that, one way we can honor them is by looking at some of the hurdles and problems that they have while working on a vehicle. Are they waiting on the parts department for too long? How long are they sitting idle or waiting on the service advisor to sell additional recommendations? How long is it taking them to find special tools or mess around with that broken R134A machine? You know, ultimately, time is money. And for a flat rate technician, it's just that. You know, focus on the small, simple details to save them time and increase their production and efficiency is critical, I think. And then also regular communication between management and technicians can also be helpful to identify and address any capacity issues and productivity issues that may arise.
You know, Marcus, Les mentioned Tully Williams at the Nilo Company, and Tully has a saying, Les. He says he wants his technicians to go home rich and tired. All right. So I've enjoyed that, but it's so true. And, you know, Marcus, you're probably one of the first people I've seen to actually implement technology in improving efficiency in the automotive repair shop. So congratulations to you, Marcus. You're having a lot of success with that at Bayley. And I know that got Les's attention, you know, early on, and now you're growing. And I see that in dealerships all throughout the country. Marcus, your thoughts on the role technology is playing in improving efficiency in that repair shop?
Well, when we're talking about capacity and productivity and efficiency, there are a lot of things to manage and focus on. I think technology helps by answering a lot of those questions for you, analyzing performance and providing you with the right information to run your dealership, your shop better. The case for any technology is to provide the user with a tool that helps them look like a superhero and helps them have insights that they normally wouldn't have or that their competitor currently doesn't have. In the case of Dynatron, analyzing individual technician performance based on the data that they're gathering is critical to the growth of the shop and the technician. And then pairing that data with real-time shop data, I believe is a real game changer. So not only do you know technician performance, but you can also understand the bay data and what that means for a technician and the total shop performance.
There is no place where you can find the real data on what's going on in the stall. It's like a black hole. You know when the car was written, you know when the car was complete, but you don't necessarily know what happened in between. And that, impacts on, is the work being done as effectively and efficiently as possible? Can you tell the customer when they call? It's still a huge problem for status. That you really don't know when the customer calls what's going on with that vehicle. Is it in the shop? Where is it? What jobs are yet to be done? How long are they going to take? This is all information that the customers are craving, but more often than not, they're put on the black hole of death, the holds line, waiting for try to track down where's that car, and to be able to have the eye into the shop on where is that car and when is it likely going to be complete, is something that's widely needed, but not done very effectively at all.
Marcus, yeah. I think back, if I may, 10, 12, 15 years ago when the multi-point inspection was first introduced to the technicians, and then less with the electronic MPI. Marcus, we had in the early days, and I know both of you know this, we had a lot of resistance from technicians, in the early part about having to do this multi-point and then do it electronically. Marcus, I wanted to ask you, any initial resistance, and what kind of resistance, on the technician side from coming in to monitor and help improve, this efficiency in the shop?
Well, the key is accountability. Technicians love holding other people accountable because, you put the power in their hands, and now they can say, hey, it's not me holding me back here. It's maybe the parts department. Maybe I'm waiting on parts. Maybe it's the service advisor. And every time I make recommendations, I'm sitting back here idle for 20 minutes before he gives me the thumbs up or the thumbs down on whether the customer approved it. So there's a layer of transparency there that gives them a little bit more power in that process. And when they see that, and then especially when they see that they're turning more hours, and they're becoming more efficient overall, and they can see a leaderboard of where they actually rank in the process, I think that's helpful in getting them to adopt a new solution.
We have to make the service shop friendly for the new generation. You're finding that a lot of your technicians are getting to that stage where retirement is an option, or a job that is perhaps less stressful than flat rate technician. As a result, just as an industry, the capacity that's available is difficult to harness. So we got to make it more attractive to the younger guys and get them wanting to come into an industry that, quite frankly, is surprisingly lucrative. Most of them aren't even aware of the fact that there's an opportunity for themselves and their families to earn the kind of income that they can. And if you're able to plug these little holes, back in the day, we drew a little picture of a bathtub with leaks in it, and you got to plug each leak one at a time to be able to maximize that technician's capacity and productivity. But that's money in their pocket. If they're not spending 5 minutes looking for a car, that car is, they can just walk out to it. They know where the keys are. you're able to grab the keys, grab the car, start work, you know, that's going to add the ability to turn more hours that day. That makes your shop that much more attractive, a place to be working. And you've got to be able to find young people, find the new generation of technicians, and offer them things that are in line with their expectations on how technology is being used in their lives everywhere else, because it is. You know, they're technology nuts, unlike the older generation, my generation, that had to go kicking and screaming. These are people that are looking forward to how technicians or how technology can be assisting them.
Yeah, and I'll also add to that in that I think automatically updating the internal staff at the dealership, as well as having the ability to update consumers automatically without somebody having to go in and manually click that something's changed here, can be tremendous in providing transparency and keeping everybody updated in the process of movements of things. And, you know, I think it's a real game changer.
Marcus, isn't it great? We hear this, you've used that word now a couple times, and we're hearing it more and more, the word transparency, right, when it comes to fixed operations. So that's a new word for us. Last question for today, gentlemen. I'll come to Les first on the Dynatron side, and then Marcus on the Bayley side to bring it home. Les, what processes do you think dealers should have in place to monitor performance and identify areas for improvement? And I'll ask you that through the lens of Dynatron software.
Well, our attraction to Marcus actually, you know, came from the realization that he was doing stuff that isn't being done at Dynatron, wasn't being done anywhere else that we were able to find. You know, we're kind of proud of our ability to be able to look at our core business, but also look outside our core business and find innovative people that are coming up with newer solutions. You know, being able to really know what's going on in that black box, to be able to know that when that car moves into the shop, we haven't lost it. You know, it's fully transparent what's going on, how long it's taking, who's doing it, where they are in the process, is something that is truly a game changer. My first job, you may remember in the industry, was in service scheduling with a General Motors product called SOS, Service Order Scheduling, which attempted to track, you know, what's going on in the shop and productivity in the technicians. This is that on steroids, the ability to be able to know exactly what's going on and to be able to deliver that additional capacity to the shop and to the consumer.
Love it. Marcus, Aman at Bayley, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, I think you have to inspect what you expect, but in order to do that, you have to be able to measure the data and in real time, preferably. And maybe this is a daily RO hard copy or DMS review that you're doing, or maybe you have a partner like Dynatron or Bayley to help. I think that's important. You know, map out what you think the best run shop would look like and focus on the weaknesses that you may have. If you improve one or two simple things that you could change today or this week and continue to do that until you've reached a satisfactory level. And again, it starts with time. You know, time is money. How can we save time to make more time, billable hours? What processes do you have today that you can confidently say you're perfect in? You know, I personally, I'd monitor everything, appointment scheduling, technician schedules, write-up process, MPI process, advisor, customer process after MPI. And if you look, you might be surprised that there is something there that can be corrected or fixed that is potentially costing you thousands of dollars a month.
If you just do the back of the napkin calculation, how much does an extra 15 or 20% in productivity mean to the technician, to the shop? What's in it for me? Do that calculation and then get started in looking at every place where there may be a hole and just plug it up, because that is what you need one at a time to be able to generate that additional revenue for yourself and for your technicians.
Love it. two of the greats here with us today. Marcus, I can't think of anybody better to be on the roundtable with than Les Silver, because the audience always lights up when Les comes on, and we have a lot of great feedback. So Les Silver, everybody, he's the executive chairman at Dynatron Software. You could see the website scrolling by at the bottom, dynatronsoftware.com, with Les's email. Marcus Aman at Bayley, and you've got his URL as well scrolling by, and his email. They're both on social media. They're accessible, and they've got great teams working for them. So Marcus and Aman and Les, on behalf of the Fixed Ops Roundtable, congratulations to both of you on your success, and thank you so much for this today.
Yeah, appreciate you, Ted. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for what you're doing to the industry. Appreciate it.
Les, fixed operations is coming into, we see it now coming into its own, right? It's amazing all these years. And here we are.
All these years.
Yep. All right, everybody. Two of the greats, Les Silver and Marcus Aman, here today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Opportunities for revenue growth are out there, and they're closer than you think. The problem is most service departments lack the time, software, and data to see these opportunities. They're in the dark. That's where we come in. We help shed light on revenue growth opportunities hidden within your data. Dynatron gives you the tools, coaching, and knowledge to maximize your service department revenue. From optimizing labor rates on maintenance and repairs to helping with manufacturer warranty labor rate and parts markup, our training and software gets you the most from your data. We illuminate these revenue opportunities with 3 fundamental solutions powered by our ROI suite and expert coaching. Price Smart. Our Price Smart solution drives additional revenue through price optimization. Charging the perfect price for services maximizes revenue while maintaining retention. Pricing Compliance. Holding service advisors and technicians accountable to avoid costly mistakes that can lead to significant ELR and retention erosion. And parts and labor warranty filing. Price optimization and compliance prior to filing maximizes the process, which leads to larger revenue opportunities. Where other companies just file, we maximize and file. Sell Smart. Our Sell Smart solution is a customized, dealer-specific, technology-enabled sales training program for your service advisors and management team. It focuses on improving each advisor's revenue-generating potential with continuous improvement. Small but consistent changes add up to big results. Market Smart. With Dynatron's Market Smart solution, we analyze your service department data to develop custom, multi-channel marketing campaigns that target existing and new customers. We guide additional traffic to your service drive, resulting in tangible ROI. Powering these solutions is our ROI suite and expert coaching. We take your repair order data, process it through our proprietary algorithms, curate new data, and combine to find new insights. Then, our expert coaches guide you through our proven turnkey process to discover new opportunities and deliver results, ultimately seeing a 5x to 15x ROI each year you partner with Dynatron. Managing your service department is hard enough. You don't need another vendor. You need a long-term partner. Don't stay in the dark. Accelerate your service department revenue today. Visit dynatronsoftware.com.
Are you California dreaming? You're in the right place. Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable FORTSTOCK event.
Welcome the wild side with our next speaker, Jim Roche, CEO and founder of Warrcloud.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Jim Roche is here, automotive technology pioneer and the founder and CEO of Warrcloud, taking the industry by storm. Jim, I see you everywhere. Congratulations on the success that you and the team at Warrcloud are having.
Thank you, Ted. It's always a pleasure to be here, and you're seeing me everywhere in great part because of you and the support from the Fixed Ops Roundtable. So thank you, and hello, everybody. Happy fall. Hope everyone out there had a great summer.
Yep. And, it's been a few months since we got together. I know you've added a lot of dealers. Okay. I'm hearing that all over the place. And I know you've got some great stuff to share with us. So with that, Jim, I'm going to bring up the slides and let you get into it.
Thank you, Ted. Yeah, it's exciting time to be in warranty, which is a phrase I bet no one ever thought they would hear it said. But today, our topic will be talking about how, as an industry, we transition into using technology to automate claims processing. Just a quick review of why we want to do these things. If you look at the history of warranty in terms of how much warranty revenue dealerships have generated, it's been very interesting. The 5-year growth of warranty pre-pandemic was a total of 38.2%, or almost 8% growth per year, which is whopping growth given that service is typically the dealership's largest profit center. And Warrcloud is forecasting almost an additional 20% growth through the end of 2026. Which is a great story. I mean, the dealer's most important profit center and a built-in growth engine. Now, that's pretty aggressive growth. Let's talk about why we're saying that. There's really two reasons. One obvious, one not so obvious. The obvious reason is in the coming years, we're going to sell millions more new vehicles, and that means millions more warranty-covered vehicles on the road that'll come back to the dealer. Super easy. The other is really very counterintuitive. If you look at JD Power We Predict projections for warranty costs for electric vehicles, they are running about 300% higher than an internal combustion engine, which is really counterintuitive. But that is also going to bolster the warranty revenue for dealers because there are nearly 150 new EVs or hybrids coming to market by 2026. So those two things combined are really going to sharply drive up warranty revenue, which again is awesome. But the current warranty processing methods we have are antiquated and inefficient and eat into gross. Today, the cost of warranty processing, meaning the cost of getting the claim from the technician to the OEM and getting it paid, consumes 12% of the gross profit from warranty.
Jim, I believe that number has jumped since I saw you last. I didn't know it was 12%. Wow.
It consumes about 6% of warranty revenue, 12% of gross profit, because primarily, Ted, we use people, and people are expensive and they're getting more expensive.
Yeah.
Each claim takes 11 minutes to process. There's no automation. It's all pushing paper and data entry. And the people who have historically done this are on the decline. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. But let me give you just a sort of a semi-humorous overview of the process that as it happens today. This is the current process. When the tech completes the work, your warranty administrator goes into the DMS and retrieves information from it, then jumps out of the DMS, copies and pastes the VIN into the OEM portal. Then, let's say that this is a recall. They have to scroll through 30 or 40 pages to find things like the proper engine type, the trim, additional fees. Then they go back to the DMS, copy and paste that info, hope that all that back and forth is correct. And of course, there's plenty of room for error. The funny part is, well, how many screens does it take to get your reimbursement and how much do you leave on the table? A lot of the time, what warranty administrators do is they memorize codes so they don't have to go back and look them up again and again. But guess what? The OEM changes them. As an example, I recently saw a 63-page bulletin for a Toyota recall. Impossible for a human being to memorize all those codes. And what's really scary in all that, Ted, is when that's happening, the dealer never knows about those lost opportunities because they're not tracking those complexities down to that level of detail.
Never. Absolutely not. You're right.
Additionally, though, what's interesting and happening in the industry is the human beings that have historically done this work are on the decline. We're seeing them exit the workforce, whether they retire, leave automotive altogether. But the younger generations are not coming up and stepping into those roles. And we're seeing this decline accelerating. As a matter of fact, by 2025, we think that about half of dealers will be able to find warranty administrators should they want to do that. So this is a real problem because if you look at, the blue line is where warranty claims are going. The purple line is the workforce. You can see the problem and we're already in the middle of it. we have a scalability problem when it comes to keeping up with the workforce necessary to be able to process these billions of dollars worth of claims. So, let's take a look at how that currently works. Well, there are currently three methods to process claims at a dealership. You can employ W-2 employees. That's the most common method. But as I mentioned, there is a workforce scalability problem there, and human labor is expensive and prone to error. The second thing you can do is you can use one of the temp agencies. That's the same problem. There is a workforce scalability problem, and human labor is expensive and prone to error. Or you can leverage technology, which increases efficiency and claims automation. Now, the human brute force approach we've been using for about 100 years. It seems to me that going forward, the only viable solution is to leverage technology against the scalability problem that we're seeing. So I talk a lot about warranty claims automation, but let's just define it. What does that mean? Well, it means that a mechanism, a machine, accesses the ROs from the DMS in an automated fashion. It means that the majority of the work done on the claim must be automated. And what do I mean by what is the work done on the claim? You have to take the claim as it was done by the technician, and you have to transform it into phrases and codes and the rules that the OEM will accept and pay. And then, of course, you have to be able to submit the claim to the OEM in an automated fashion. Also, if there is any supporting documentation, the collection of that must be automated or at least made as simple as possible. And finally, the other things that everyone does, whether you're an employee or a temp agency or automated, you must have some compliance and scorecards and accounting updates. So what is not warranty claims automation? Well, having to copy, scan, or ship ROs to a third party, that certainly is not automation. Scanning and emailing documents isn't really automation. Pushing or chasing supporting documents around the dealership, rental car receipts, battery test slips, or whatever. Again, that's sneakernet. That's not automation. Tracking and reading your claims manually in a spreadsheet. None of these things are automation, but they've kind of been the status quo up until now. An automated process will impact most of the movement of the warranty RO so that you don't have to. That's really, it ultimately is the definition of automation. So if you are automating all of your warranty claim submission, what results should you expect? Well, on average, technology automation seems to increase warranty revenue by about 12.4%. And for the typical dealer, that means almost an additional $142,000 a year. You reduce the cost of claims processing by more than 50%. Of course, because you're using the speed of computers, your claims get processed within 24 hours, which greatly improves your cash flow. And you improve your OEM scores, meaning your first-time success, how long did it take you to submit them, how long did you take to get the RO closed and get paid. So all of those things are great benefits. I'm sure we'd agree. But how does technology find more dollars? And what I'd like to do is I'd like to zoom in a little bit and use GM, since there are more GM dealerships than any other brand in the country, as an example. Well, first of all, if you take a look at additional times and admin allowances, there are millions of claims, and there are so many variations to those, they are very complex. There are many additional times and admin allowances based on model or trim level if you know where to look, and that's really the key. Also, think about quick recalls, for example, a reprogram or a flash. These small claims only pay a couple of tenths, and a lot of the times the human beings, because the dollar amounts are small, they skip them. But the computer never skips anything. It never forgets anything. So that's a way to pick up every dollar that's on the table. Prepaid maintenance. There is so much money that's lost, Ted, because we don't do accurate reimbursement by model and engine side. Recently GM increased the reimbursement amounts, and the new reimbursement levels are different. They used to be the same. Now, a Tahoe is worth more than a Malibu, as one example. And you could be leaving $40 to $60 per repair order on the table if you're not looking up all these things. Now, as I said before, you're talking about somebody, a human being going through page after page or screen after screen, whereas the computer can look this thing up in a few seconds.
Yeah, yeah.
And finally, and this one is just eye-opening, GM offers floor plan assistance on claims. Now, the example would be when you have a vehicle in inventory and there's a stop sale on that vehicle due to a recall.
Okay.
GM will pay X dollars per day floor plan assistance if you know to ask for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jim, that's huge.
The computers know to ask for all this stuff. They can do it in a matter of seconds. The idea that human beings can memorize or keep track of this stuff, hundreds of thousands and millions of variations, it's just impossible.
That's a game changer right there, Jim.
Exactly. But, we talk about this stuff a lot. What we like to say is we are sweeping the corners to get it all. Every dollar, every tenth that the dealer is legitimately entitled to, the systems know where to look and they get it. They never get sick. They never get tired. They never daydream. They just know all the rules and they execute all the rules. But why don't we take a minute? And what I'd like to do is bring a few people of ours who used to do this work at dealerships and now use our technology and let them really tell you about it and show the audience what this technology looks like. Ted, we've talked a lot about the benefits of automating warranty claims processing, but what does it really mean? What I'd like to do now is call a couple of our team members to really walk you through what a claims automation technology platform looks like and what the benefits are. Let me introduce to you Melinda Duprell. Melinda is director of our service delivery. She oversees all of the claims processing. And Jen Thompson, who is the team lead of our General Motors team, they're going to walk you through the detail. Melinda?
Thanks, Jim, and thank you, Ted, for having us here today. So I have been with Warrcloud for 2.5 years. I've been a warranty administrator for 22 years. And let me tell you, in the past 22 years, I was that girl sitting in an office surrounded by paperwork. The days of warranty processing have changed quite a bit. Before, it was sitting there looking at multiple screens, trying to figure out how much this oil change pays. And heaven forbid anybody come in the office and ask me a question. You get sidetracked and you completely have lost where you were at. The nice thing with the Warrcloud platform, it pulls in the information from the DMS. It's going to pull in that VIN number. It's going to scan the VIN number as well as the 3 Cs. See, this vehicle has a recall 123. It's going to pull up the bot for that recall. It's going to read that VIN pattern to see if there are any add times to it. For instance, the Takata airbag recall. You can get an extra 10th for it being an LTZ or an SLT. Our Warrcloud platform knows by that VIN pattern that it has that trim level in there. So it's going to automatically apply that extra 10th. Also, if it's an SUV, you get an extra 10th. Our platform knows that as well. We also have the admin allowance already built into that, so you're not missing it. There have been many dealers that we've gone back and looked, and the warranty admin didn't even know it existed. Amongst all of those pages of recalls that you're going through, things like that can be missed. One of the other things, again, days of the past, is doing the same recall over and over and over again. Warranty admins tend to memorize those labor ops. The problem with that is if GM comes out with an update, you're not seeing it because there's no reason for you to go and look at that recall. You're trying to get through these claims as quick as you can, and you're doing it from memory, and money gets missed. So our platform is always updated. You're always going to have the most recent time right there available to you, which means you're collecting every dollar every time. So with our Warrcloud platform, you're going to see an increase in your warranty totals. You're going to have faster submission because our automation is going to help with that. It's also going to be done accurately, which means your claim submitted the first time is going to increase. So Warrcloud is going to go in there, sweep all the corners, and make sure that everything is done correctly and efficiently as we can. I would like to turn it over to Jen Thompson, who is our GM team lead, so she can show you our Warrcloud platform. Thank you.
Melinda, and hi Ted, and thank you for having me on as well. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Again, I'm Jen Thompson, and I've been in the automotive industry for about 15 years, and worked in all facets in the service department and been doing warranty specifically for the past 8 years. And the platform is just a total game changer for our dealerships. It saves our stores time. It ensures all our money is collected. Like, as mentioned, it sweeps the corner. We make sure we get the tenths and the dollars everywhere. It's accurate every single time. It doesn't allow for human error and the quick submission time. So we do have claims that are fully automated and semi-automated. So this is my whole overview of the platform. This is one of my stores. I can toggle through my auto groups, and between that, toggle through stores right here. And everything that is highlighted in green already has a bot applied. So that means it is semi-automated or even fully automated, depending on the recall or the repair being done. For example, this is a recall. The bot was already applied. If I wasn't showing this to you today, all I would hit is click, click, done, and it's ready to go off to the OEM to be paid. And just because what I'm going to show you here is what it auto applied. So this is a reprogramming recall. It already read the VIN. It has your opcode right there. And even more so, there's a programming code which also needs to be submitted to the DMS. So that is also already auto applied, and I will show you that right there. And the platform went ahead and read the VIN, read that there's a program code that needs to be applied, and that's done. And all I hit is done. And it is off to the DMS, ready to be paid. And what's great about the platform too is what we call the fully automated recalls. And this is something I don't touch whatsoever. The platform read the VIN, and because of the automotive DMS, it has this RO number, and this is an auto open RO claim. So what the platform has done for me and for the stores is once it loaded from the DMS, it already submitted this claim to GM for payment. So I have done nothing. All I hit is I'm just acknowledging that, yes, I know it got submitted for me, and I hit done. And it's already back to it's already to GM for payment without me touching it. So the platform from beginning to end did that for me, and I didn't have to touch a thing except for acknowledging that it was done. So everybody knows that some claims need additional documentation, and it's a huge waste of time to track and chase those documents down person to person, paper to paper. Luckily, with the platform, there is a Warrcloud app for that. It's actually a two-way mobile-friendly tool. You could have it on your laptop, desktop, phone, and all you have to do is snap a picture to upload the supporting documentation. You can see right there the home page, your tickets, and the in-app camera, as easy as a snap, and it goes straight to us admins so we can submit it to the OEM. And this way it gives you back time in your day to focus on other areas of the business. So again, the platform, it's a game changer for any dealership wanting to get on this.
Thank you, Melinda and Jen. That was fantastic. So, I think what I'm trying to drive home, Ted, is that dealers need to embrace innovations to find efficiencies and ways to drive higher profit in the dealership. Now, you say, well, yeah, Jim, you're the founder of Warrcloud. Of course, you would call it an innovation. Actually, I'm just repeating what others have said. So if you look back since Warrcloud came to market, we have received many accolades, including Best Practice Award for the Warrcloud innovation from Ted Ings in 2021. In 2022, we received the Navicon Cup Award for the best innovation at the Navicon show. Yep. And finally, and I'm very proud to say this, we were recently awarded Automotive News PACE Program 2023 finalist for the Warrcloud innovation. So the industry is recognizing that Warrcloud is a technology platform, the first of its kind, that automates warranty claims processing, is a significant innovation in our industry. So just to summarize, I think the current challenges with warranty claims processing are many. We see increasing volume, vastly increasing complexity. The expense of it is going up. And the future challenge is both scalability and the expense. Levering technology innovations to increase efficiency, reduce expenses, improve cash flow, and improve your compliance is the only way to go. And Corey Roberts, our president, turned me on to this quote: "You really have to innovate or die." And it's not innovation if you operate out of fear of what's new. That was a quote from Bob Iger, CEO of Disney. Dealers have been innovating for over a century, and we're hoping that they will embrace this new automation for warranty claims processing. So thank you, Ted. Love to take questions from the audience if there are any.
Great. We'll open up the chat, everybody. Jim is available to answer those questions along with the team from Warrcloud. Jim, you got a couple of game changers here today, and real exciting to hear about your success. And you can see where this is going. It's it's pretty obvious to the folks watching. Now, if our audience has questions about Warrcloud, how it pertains to their particular franchise, their nameplates, their dealership, what's the best way, Jim, for our audience to reach out for more information?
Well, they can always go to warrcloud.com and click on the Contact Me button, or you can see my email addresses here in my name line. I love to hear from dealers. I love to hear from service leaders. And by the way, thank you, Ted, for the compliment. When we began doing this with you back in 2021, I think we had our 18th dealer. And we're just about to introduce our 500th dealer. So starting to feel like one of those right idea at the right time kind of things. Thank you for your support.
Jim, you put in all the hard work on the beginning there, all right? And, you saw it where others did not or had not seen it yet. Now it's pretty clear, 2020 vision looking at it. So congratulations to you, the team there, Corey Roberts on the team. You've got the right people on the bus, Jim Roche. So Warrcloud, everybody making a difference. The difference is in technology. Reach out to the team. Reach out to Jim Roche. His email's on the bottom of the screen. He's the founder and CEO of Warrcloud. Jim, I look forward to having you back and learning more and hearing about additional successes. So congratulations to you.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you, Ted. And thank you, everyone, for your attention.
Jim Roche from Warrcloud, everybody, here today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Thank you, Ted Ings, and welcome everyone to Warrcloud Jeopardy, where the objective is, as always, is to optimize your profit. Please welcome Corey Roberts and Scott Bertelman. Our board today, Category 1, Mission Impossible, Numbers Don't Lie, Man versus Machine, and WIFM, What's in it for me? Let's go to the board. Corey.
Jim, I'll take Mission Impossible for 100.
Mission Impossible for 100. Previously thought impossible, it is the only company that processes warranty claims in mere seconds.
Jim, who is Warrcloud?
That's correct. Scott.
Jim, I'll take Numbers Don't Lie for 200.
Dealerships use this solution to reduce warranty expenses by over 50% while simultaneously growing revenue 12.4%.
Who is Warrcloud?
Exactly.
I'll take Man versus Machine for 300.
The only company that provides a solution using automated machine learning, not humans, to capture allowances, fees, additional tenths of labor, and automatically submit for payments within 24 hours.
Who is Warrcloud?
Exactly right. And finally,
WIFM for 400, Jim.
The only automated warranty solution that doesn't get sick, take vacations, or quit.
Who is Warrcloud?
Exactly right again. The answer every time is Warrcloud. And for those of you watching, if you'd like to explore ways to improve your profitability by automating your warranty claims processing, scan the code on your screen or visit us at warrcloud.com for a free warranty analysis today. Thank you.
Again, Tully Williams here at Nilo BMW of Elk Grove, here to introduce you to this world-class team headed up by Jared Williams.
Hello, my name is Jared Williams, here to introduce you to our wonderful service team here at Nilo BMW of Elk Grove.
Hello, my name is Bob Cottle. Welcome to Nilo BMW of Elk Grove, and we're going to introduce you to our fabulous service team.
Hi, my name is Julia with Nilo BMW of Elk Grove, and welcome to our service department.
Hi, I'm Mike Wheeler, the shop foreman here at Nilo BMW of Elk Grove, here to introduce you to our 15 world-class technicians with over 300 years of experience.
Hello, my name is Noah. I'm the parts manager here at Nilo BMW Elk Grove, and here I am to introduce you to our world-class parts team. Remember, parts sells hours.
Filmed live from one of our pop-up events is the Retail Advisory Board with Shawn Leibold of Reynolds and Reynolds.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Ted Ings. Ted, we have a special guest here, Shawn Leibold, and some exciting things to announce.
Yep. Sarah, we're very grateful to Reynolds and Reynolds for their support of the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Want to welcome Shawn Leibold, the Director of Industry Relations. Shawn, welcome to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So, Shawn, we recently at the Roundtable have created a Retail Advisory Board, and of which everybody up here is on that board. And I want to come to Ed Roberts, if I can, first. Ed, we've got a lot of partners, we've got a lot of dealers involved with the Roundtable. Why have a Retail Advisory Board at this time?
Well, a lot of times we sit in our offices and we look out and say, okay, if they had this tool out there, they can make this happen with it. We put something together that the industry doesn't embrace. Well, reality is we don't bring the end user in or the one that brings that to life. And when we bring them in and let us know what they have front line, then we can adapt from that and go forward. So I appreciate you guys being a part of that.
No, appreciate that. That's
Tully.
I think that having great vendors is great partners, and partners make your store successful. You know, and having this advisory board is great to have great partners help us and help our dealers be more successful. Making sure we have the right people on that advisory board, making sure we make sure that people know about what they can do for your store, to me, is so huge.
So, Shawn, I got to tell you a funny story. I've told it several times. Last summer, I had a phone call on my cell phone from an unknown number. It was in Ohio, okay, and I picked up the call, and it's a gentleman named Chris Walsh, okay? Sarah, I did not know who Chris Walsh was at the time, and he says, Ted, I'm interested in speaking at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, and I'm with Reynolds and Reynolds. I said, excellent, what do you do? Okay, and he told me I'm the president of Reynolds and Reynolds, and this is a true story. And I said, well, I know Reynolds is composed of many different brands, and so I go, which part of Reynolds? He said, Ted, I'm the president of Reynolds and Reynolds. I want to speak on the roundtable. And Shawn, we had never had Reynolds on before. So Chris came on. Ed, you were a big part of that segment because one of the things, Shawn, I thought was important was that a seasoned Reynolds dealer be able to ask some questions as well. Ed, you and I enjoyed that segment with Chris as well.
Absolutely. And Reynolds is changing the way they do business. And like Tully said, they want to become more of that partner rather than just being a vendor. And it's very much welcomed.
No, we appreciate it. And sorry you got Shawn Leibold today, not Chris Walsh, but Chris and his executive team is one of the biggest reasons that I'm currently in this position. And it really, I'll go back to your comment when you talk about vendors and partners, it really is about the partnerships. We have a huge belief now that is extending throughout the organization where Chris he's really pushed down hard on our organization to wake up every single day and want to help the dealers some way, somehow. So that's our mission at Reynolds. I tell you, that having that philosophy is what makes a great partner, and that's what makes really what the Certified is all about, is those kind of vendors make a difference for us at dealerships. I agree. Yep.
And makes it easier for us to do business.
It really does. I think when we can all collaboratively work together and just kind of find those common places that you guys are struggling with certain issues, then we can all come to standards and do some things that make sense for the dealer. Especially when it's a DMS. See, now you got one voice, right? Yeah.
And Shawn, your role as Director of Industry Relations, take us through that a little bit of what you do at the Reynolds Company.
Yeah, so some of my primary focus is doing things just like this, is to support the industry associations, the industry initiatives, making sure that we're not only financially assisting in some of these, but also, as subject matter experts, where we can do workshops, like we're going to do a couple here while we're here, supporting our ADAs, developing tighter relationships within ADA, and influencers in the marketplace like yourself. So it's one of my big roles.
So Ed, I know you've got a great relationship with Reynolds and Reynolds at Bozard Ford Lincoln. Reynolds has become a part of the event, Shawn, that now we've recently had Gold Moto on several times on our roundtables. And what I thought was so unique, some things that I did not know about Gold Moto, they have a Spanish language option that enables write-up. And we had some of the best dealers in the country talking about how they utilize that as well. Recon Track, okay? And having some of the dealers and managers who are using that product on the roundtable as well. Proton Dealership IT. Right now, everything going on with the Safeguards Act and with compliance. Tully, you were one of the first people to point that out to me, that we really got to get on this safeguards thing, maybe even a year ago. And now, even on the marketing, having the folks at Naked Line be a part of it.
Yep.
Shawn, you've got a lot of these brands. How do you at Reynolds speak with a consistent message along the fixed ops platform?
I think you hit on 4 really good ones. There's a couple more, but we use the word agnostic right now pretty heavily. And I think it goes back to the story we're trying to also tell us, look, we want to try to help dealers fix problems, and we don't necessarily need them to be on our DMS. So we have these other solutions that if a dealer's got a problem and they're 2 years into a 5-year contract with one of our, competitors, well, at least maybe they can look into something like a GoMoto or Recon or Reverse Risk or something that can align to a need that they have that maybe that their current provider doesn't have. And once again, it's just the ecosystem working together to come solve these problems.
So everybody, one of the things the Retail Advisory Board is going to be doing is going to be assisting in our certified process. Ed, you're a certified dealer now with the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Tully, Nilo Company as well. Talk to us about the importance of certifying dealers as well and making sure that they have standards, so that it's not something that they can, just automatically become. We're looking at rolling it out and doing it in such a way that really reflects the excellence of the dealers, such as your groups as well.
It goes back to branding. There's 18,000 dealers out there, and everybody has a different baseline. When you got a baseline that standardizes where you're going from here, that gets you to a certification level, then it allows us something else to brand from.
I also think that, having standards from leaders in the industry helps make sure that we pick the right vendor. Having vendors that, start up and they've been in business for 3 months and the product isn't tested. The thing with Reynolds and Reynolds is that they've been around forever, and you look at their experience and are they having great relationships with their vendor partners? To me, that is most critical. And when you look at great vendors, it's part of the relationship that you have with your vendor is what's successful. So us having certified vendors that are committed to the dealership, to me, is number one.
And when they come out and find our pain points and go back and bring a product to market that helps us with it, then we all win.
Yep, that's a great point.
And right to Ed's point, take our feedback, not just Ed and Tully, but all of the great dealerships out there with great feedback. Because, there's some great ideas out there. And if vendors are open to feedback, the world changes.
Yep.
And Sarah, I know you are a big part of bringing fixed ops to the forefront. As dealers continue to evolve and get more into the fixed ops space, a lot of times, Sarah, dealers don't know one partner to another who's got the experience, who's good at what they do, and maybe not quite so good yet. So I think that's also important that we are looking at that as part of the program.
It is so important because really at the end of the day, and I think all of us are testament to that, but it's the relationships that you have with your partners that really set the difference between how your employees experience things and also your customers.
So Shawn, we're very grateful to you and the team at Reynolds & Reynolds for your great support, and look forward to working with you and with Ed and with Sarah and with Tully as well.
Looking forward to it.
And looking forward to the workshops.
Nope, absolutely. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Reynolds & Reynolds, Shawn Leibold here today as part of our Retail Advisory Board with Tully Williams, Ed Roberts, and Sarah Vantine. Don't go away. We have a lot coming up here today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable pop-up event.
The Fixed Ops Roundtable Certified program allows exceptional dealers and retail partners the opportunity to showcase their success.
As our industry continues to evolve, certified dealers and retail partners are a testament to the ongoing pursuit of excellence. For more information, visit us at fixedopsroundtablecertified.com.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Ted Ings, and we have our special friend Ed Roberts.
And not only that, Sarah, but we also want to make sure today that we present Ed Roberts at Bozard Ford Lincoln as the very first Fixed Ops Roundtable certified dealer. Ed, thank you for all that you and Bozard do for our industry. You have an exceptional organization, exceptional people with exceptional processes.
Thank you, Ted. It's all about the team, and we're blessed to have the team that we have. And the key to it is develop our people. And when you develop our people, when you develop your people, then you can have that strong of a team as well. Culture is everything.
Everybody, we look forward to taking this forward out to other exceptional dealers throughout the United States and Canada. Stay with us here at the Fixed Ops Roundtable. We have a whole lot more ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. I found some of my mobile guys coming back in for a few minutes, so I want to take a moment and introduce you guys to them. Got Jared, been out running the streets this morning, hanging out with Tyler. These two are a shady bunch right here. Be careful if they show up to your house. Got Patrick, Harley.
Yes, sir.
Last name is Davidson.
Yep.
If you find him on social that way. Got Poe. Hello, Poe. These guys make it happen as well. I have more. Some of them still out in the field. We got a couple more here right now. Tate. Tate also got him a new ride recently. He's been rolling around showing it off. We got Michael. These two guys have been a pair for what, 4 years now?
Yeah. Working 4 years, yes. Just round it up, yeah.
Appreciate what you guys do, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes.
Next on stage are the leaders of the Northwood International Auto Show, along with Sarah Vantine and Ted Ings.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Ted Ings with Sarah Vantine from Quantum 5, and we are honored today to have a panel from Northwood University, including Elgie Bright, Cole Briggs, who's the general chair of the International Auto Show that's coming up here in just a few weeks, and it would not be a panel without Mike Stoll, Professor Mike Stoll from CDK Global. Everybody, welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Thank you, Ted.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Ted.
Sarah, so I'm looking forward to, in just a couple weeks, this International Auto Show on the campus of Northwood University. And Sarah, you and I are going to get to go there, and we're going to get to be a part of that and also help put on a pop-up event. Sarah, I'm really excited about that.
This is going to be such an amazing event. I cannot wait to see the pop-up and see all the excitement that this is going to bring to the campus.
Yeah, and I think there'll be a lot of excitement there. So, Cole, let me start off with the basics since we're so close to the show now. First of all, Cole, what is the Northwood University International Auto Show?
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Ted, and thank you, Sarah. So, in its 60th anniversary, the Northwood University International Auto Show, it's the largest outdoor new car auto show that, of course, is 100% student ran. We're featuring cars from all over, some even coming as far as Florida. And so to be in the show, but it's not just a car show. We offer Northwood students a variety of different events that give them the opportunity to network and connect with many industry professionals. So this includes like our private viewings, our panels, our roundtable events, and then we close out the weekend with our classic car show event on Sunday.
So the dates on it, Cole, I see they're on the ticker down below, October 6th and 7th and 8th. And I'm sure there's an agenda for that. Is that on the website that we see down below, auto.northwood.edu?
That is correct. That is correct. All the information you need, if you're going to the show as an attendee, is on the website.
Elgie, Cole's got some big shoulders here, but we've been working alongside you folks for a couple months. And Elgie, I'm very impressed with the team that you've put together and what Cole is doing there.
Well, we are too, Ted. Cole is just an amazing ambassador for all that's good at Northwood. Just a exemplary student, a wonderful mentor. When we bring high school students, we have the good fortune of having a camp this summer, and what a great mentor. And as everybody can see today, I mean, just a great spokesman, not only for the industry, not only for the university, but really for next gen young people that are coming into business careers. Cole has just been a great spokesman, ambassador for all that's good and right in the world.
I love it. And Mike Stoll, you're so involved as well. Speak to that a little bit, because a lot of the things I see here at Northwood involve Mike Stoll and CDK, and I don't think that's by accident.
Well, Ted and Sarah, again, thanks for having us. As you can probably imagine, that getting the opportunity in your career or mine or Elgie's to be able to surround yourself with a bunch of future retail automotive leaders that have the passion, to be able to continue to grow and develop as the world changes. I get more out of the time with the students, Ted, to keep me young, energized, and motivated than they do for myself. And I want to also share that Cole's the chairman, the 60th chairman they have, but we need to talk to Cole about the team of leaders that he's put together that also has leaders underneath that group. And Cole, talk a little bit about the total number of people that are involved in your entire project that you just happen to be the quarterback and calling the plays on. That's where Cole's a brilliant, got a bright future, but the magic happens in his boardroom, watching him delegate and those leaders lead. So Cole, if you got a second, talk about that. Ted and Sarah, we can't wait for you guys to get there, because you're excited now. Wait till you show up.
You're the best, Mike. Just to put in perspective for our viewers, so we have 20 board members total, and that ranges from a variety of different avenues. And under those 20 board members that are running all the behind the scenes and the front scenes for the show are around 40 to 50 teams that have a team captain and a team co-captain. And under those team captains and co-captains, we have team members that range between 3 and even 8, sometimes 10 or 11 being our highest teams that really get us around to, we had over 350 student volunteers last year. We're hoping to have even more than that this year. And that's a big bulk of Northwood's campus that some of them are commuters, some of them play sports, have full-time jobs. The list goes on for how many high achievers we have that are involved in the actual auto show. So it's great. But you're right, Mike. You are right. They're the ones that put this together and make this what's going to be this year the best auto show that Northwood's had.
Cole, that is such an amazing accomplishment to have that many students involved in this. And so what does it mean to have a show that's this large be student run?
Yeah, that's a great question. And so again, we run the show from all different avenues. So on the board, we are split up into our logistics team, that's in charge of logistics, the day-to-day operations of the actual show week. We have our finance team that's in charge of, keeping track of our finances and helping with fundraising for the show, ultimately, and stuff like that. Then we have our operations team, who deals with the automotive and aftermarket side. They tend to be more of the managerial ones that really kind of help oversee the team captains and team co-captains in the show of getting the cars on campus and off campus, and relationships with our dealerships and our vendors and our corporate contacts. Then we have our events team, who also, oversee and help, facilitate and run the different events that we have that connect our students with the industry professionals that we invite to campus, such as Ted and Sarah, who will be joining us this year, which we're very, very excited for. So,
wow. So, Cole, the dates are October 6th, 7th, and 8th. It's going to be there in Midland, Michigan at Northwood. You've kind of told us who's involved in the show, but tell us in terms of the participants and the attendees. Is it just alumni? I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people there.
Yeah. So you mentioned alumni, and hopefully for our anniversary, we have a lot of alumni come back, which we do have a variety of different alumni events that go on during it. But also, we have age ranges from everywhere. We have, from my age all the way up until then. We have, it's kid friendly, like a bunch of kids come with their families and stuff like that. Right now, we're actually pouring a lot of, funding and efforts into marketing this year to kind of branch out and increase our region for like who we want to come to the show, because it can tailor to anybody who likes cars and even doesn't like cars. Ultimately, it's a good time to just connect with the students and get to hear what Northwood's all about. One thing we didn't mention earlier, but the show is free, and one of the big reasons that we do that is because we want to be able to give back to the community, and that's a huge part in not just what Northwood does, but again, what the auto show does. So,
well, that is absolutely incredible, Cole. And Mike and Elgie, I would love to get y'all's feedback on this as well. But, Cole, it sounds like there's a lot of opportunity for people to be part of this show. And I'm sure there's probably a lot of requirements that y'all have, because I'm sure there's a ton of students that want to participate. So could you tell us a little bit about what requirements the student volunteers might have if they wanted to be part of this?
Yeah, definitely. The student volunteers, obviously we're looking for people that are enrolled at Northwood. That's, the basic thing right there. But in terms of what major they have to have, there is no requirement for the major. They don't have to be in automotive or aftermarket. They can, be in supply chain, finance, accounting. We have, different areas of the show that are going to need, different skill sets and traits from anybody. But in general, if you'd like to be more of the people that like work on behind the scenes, we're looking for ambition. We're looking for determination. We're looking for people with new ideas that want to rise up and that want to take leadership, initiative, and ownership in what they get to do. But like I said earlier, you can be a team captain, you can be a team co-captain, a team member. You can be on the executive board. Occasionally, some people get to be general chair, which I get the honor of doing this year. So there's a lot of different ways to be a student volunteer, but there's also there are requirements to be it.
Sarah, and I'll add that Northwood University in Middle Michigan is one of very few universities in the world that has a degree in automotive marketing and management. So not only is it important to be able to support Cole and his team, by the way, they're self-funded, that web address that's on the bottom, if you're interested in taking the spare change out of your pocket or sending them $1, each one of the team captains raises their own funds to be able to put on the 700 plus cars for the 20,000 plus people that will show up. But it's also a university of choice, a destination where leaving that university, if you want to get back into retail automotive, if you'd like to go to work at any one of the OEMs, if you'd like to come to our company or any of our competitors or any place in the aftermarket, it's the place that you want to go to be able to get an automotive with a degree. And highly encourage you to think about coming, or bring your neighbors, bring your friends, bring your grandkids, and come to the weekend at Northwood University during the auto show to inspire those sophomore, junior, and seniors in high school that are looking to find that spot where they can make an impact in automotive in decades to come.
Elgie, it sounds like this is pretty buttoned up. You got a great team there.
Great team, great group of students. And, this effort, not only is it the legacy with alumni, but it's a destination not only for the community, but I've seen blurbs and day trips in Michigan, what to do this weekend, where people come out to Northwood University to see a great event that's happening. And so it's a homecoming for sure. There's a football game going on. There is all the admissions events for future prospects. But for some people, it's a date. Hey, let's go out to Midland, Michigan. Let's go and see this free event that happens on Northwood University's campus. And so we'll see a lot of media. And for those of you who are coming that first week in October, don't be surprised when you see somebody that looks familiar, because we have captains of industry, we have C-suite executives from the OEMs, the suppliers, the vendors, dealers, some dealers that you might recognize from their TV commercials. Everybody's walking around that weekend. Coming back to Northwood. So, Ted, Sarah, it is a big event. And what's most fulfilling for me is the students take that to heart, that it is somebody's first time coming to Northwood. It's somebody's last time. It's somebody that's making a decision for college. It's somebody that has loaned some assets. And these students take that to heart, not only protect those assets and think safety first, but they're prepared for a variety of scenarios that happen where they can be helpful and courteous and just great Northwood staff.
I'm Ted Ings. I'm here with Sarah Vantine from Quantum 5. We are going to be traveling in just a couple weeks to Midland, Michigan, to the campus of Northwood University, where they will be hosting their 60th International Auto Show on the campus there at Northwood. That's taking place on October 6th, 7th, and 8th. We're here today with Elgie Bright, Cole Briggs, and Mike Stoll. Cole, got a question for you in terms of our audience watching today. If somebody wants to get involved and help, maybe be a sponsor as a part of the show, how do they do that? Is there an opportunity, and what's the best way for them to reach out?
Yeah, definitely a good question. I think the best way that somebody can get involved, and this is anybody, is to actually come to the show. That's a huge thing right there. You can take the time out, come out on a date with your family, come meet the students, come see the cars. You're going to be blown away, and we're going to love it. In other ways, such as a sponsor or funding for the show, if you want to give a simple donation, you go right to our website. If you would like to actually sponsor a specific part of the show, or a specific division, or we have a bunch of different avenues where you can sponsor. You can reach out to our donor relations chair, Jordan Barker, who Ted is going to be putting up on the screen.
Well, Cole, it sounds like you have your hands full, and this is going to be such an exciting show. I just want to ask one real final question to you. What is the one thing that you have learned about the auto industry?
Great question. So this is a good question too, because one of the things I think was the most impactful thing over my variety of years at Northwood and getting more ingrained in the automotive industry was it's not all about cars. It's about who you know and how you get connected. It's the network that you build up through the different things that you do. One of the big things this year, so our theme this year is connect. And that stems from that idea of like what I personally have learned from the automotive industry, that it is about who you know and how you get connected, and not just any connection either. It's about making valuable connections. And I'm glad here I can make those valuable connections right now, right here on this roundtable event. So we're very, very excited this year.
Mike Stoll, you're one of the great connectors in the retail automotive industry.
Yes.
I'll give you and Elgie the last word today.
Well, Ted, Sarah, again, listen, you and the roundtable and everybody listening, Northwood University in Midland, Michigan is a quiet little secret, but they've been a giant for 65 plus years to grow and develop future leaders in our industry. And just like anybody else, they deserve your help, but they need your help too. You know, the students have done a great job here, and you might have somebody in your sphere of influence that's looking for an educational opportunity where they're going to get a very, 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 very worthwhile experience for the whole time they're there. And Ted and Sarah, we're going to put you on the T-shirt only when you come on campus, T-shirts only, because most people want to get a tattoo, Ted. So we're going to make you guys wait until the second time you visit. So we'll put you on the T-shirt only on this first trip, because you're going to be all excited, Sarah, Ted. You're going to be all excited. So T-shirts only for you two, and then maybe the second time we'll get you the tattoo. Okay?
Sounds fair, Mike. Elgie.
Well, we're just so grateful once again to have this opportunity with the Fixed Ops Roundtable. What a valuable resource. Not only do my students get a chance to connect, to learn, for us, it's being curious always, to be inspired, and to have Ted and Sarah as you know, the host of this great segment and show today, and to know that people are watching, and we're just really grateful. And besides that, hey, the auto industry is FUN fun. And so we hope that everybody that comes out has a little bit of fun, and everybody that's watching, we hope that you continue to be inspired by the great guests that Ted and Sarah have.
All right, everybody. So we are looking forward to the Northwood International Auto Show student-run 60th annual. Sarah, Vantine, and I will be there. We'll be also hosting a pop-up event for the Fixed Ops Roundtable live right there from Northwood University at the Auto Show. Sarah, you and I are looking forward to that, and want to thank our guests today, Cole Briggs, Elgie Bright, Professor Mike Stoll, and the team at Northwood. So everybody, if you would, be sure to join us in October on the 6th, 7th, and 8th, down below, auto.northwood.edu. And on behalf of the Fixed Ops Roundtable, thank you, everybody, for your time today.
Our revolutionary pop-up events have sparked a new wave of growth and innovation.
Become part of the brand that is shaping retail fixed operations at fixedopsroundtablecertified.com.
These are the best moments, when stress fades away and life can be enjoyed to its fullest. And helping people connect to these moments, that's what you do. Every day. Helping them find the car that's just right for them, with an easy flow from website to showroom to financing. Ensuring that their car runs safely. By sending reminders to show you're thinking of them and scheduling service that fits their busy lives. You're even helping keep their personal data protected. So times like these are worry-free. And we're here, behind you, every step of the way, through relationships built on years of listening and understanding. We bring the needed strength, knowledge, and experience to give you, our customers and partners, real peace of mind. Through our technology, we unify dealers, manufacturers, and software developers, sharing expertise and boosting collaboration for everyone's benefit. And by envisioning a future of innovative solutions, open platforms, and shared outcomes, we can shape our industry for years to come with the experiences consumers want. We don't take this unique opportunity for granted. The chance to do something truly special, to work at the heart of this industry, connecting it at every level. and taking it to new heights. We make the connections that move you. So together, we can create more moments like these.